Hello, good evening. My name is Richard. This is Over and Over and Over Again. It's Matchday Live. Arsenal women are back in action already after Monday night's disappointment in the Champions League. We're back in WSL action tonight at Meadow Park. It is Leicester City are the visitors. All the action is coming up the other side of this. So Arsenal now Frida Marnham again inside here looking for a second goal. Oh, she's got a second goal. That seals it. Frida Marnham again. So good evening, how are you? Friday evening, of course, it would normally be the Arsenal Women's Weekly Show, wouldn't it? But of course, thanks to Sky moving this game to Friday night, we are covering the game instead. And it is a big game for Arsenal now, isn't it? It's so important. We saw the other night how vital it is that we are in the Champions League next season. We show that we can compete in that competition with half our team missing. So imagine what we can do next season with a full strength team, new signings, and whatever else is going to come. So yeah, it's so important this game, isn't it? That we get the 3 points so we can keep the pressure on and make sure that we do finish in the top three. That's what we've got to play for now. So important that we do it, isn't it? So what is the lineup then? How many players have recovered from the exertions of extra time on Monday? They all gave everything, didn't they? They left everything out on that pitch on Monday night. And what have we got left? This is how the team lines up for you tonight. Actually, give me 2 seconds because I'll tell you what I haven't done. I haven't actually saved the teams for you. Which was my mistake. I was about to do it and I got sidetracked. So what I will do is I will just add that in for you now, and we can go through the teams for you because I will just let you know that there is only one change for Arsenal from the other night. Only just one change, which I'm a bit surprised. I thought there might have been one or two others, but there is just that one change. So we'll just go through that very shortly. Leicester, of course, are in good form at the minute. So we're going to see how they're getting on as well. Right. 2 seconds. Right. Okay. Sorry about that. Right, okay, so here we go. We've got the lineups for you. This is our team lineup tonight. And so for Arsenal in goal, it is Sabrina two changes, because Sabrina D'Angelo's in goal tonight. There's a back three again, lots of Ruben Moy, Jem Beattie and Rafaela Souza. So Jem Beattie's recovered from all the cramps she had the other night. And what a warrior she is. So we've got Nal Maritza at right wing back. Katie McCabe drops into left wing back. And then the three in midfield, Leah Walty, Frida Marnham and Victoria Palova. Katarina Kuhl comes in as well for Steph Catley. She was struggling extra time, wasn't she, the other night? So I'm not surprised to see her drop down to the bench. And, of course, Stina Blackstenius, who has recovered from the injury that forced her off. An important substitution, that wasn't it? Crucial. If she'd stayed on, I think we may well have got the result. So that's how we line up. And on the bench, Manu Zinsberger and Kayla Markey. Steph Catley, as we said. Taya Goldie, Katie Reid, Gio Quiros and Jodie Taylor, of course, can both be in the squad. They wasn't in the Champions League squad, of course. And Michelle Agamang as well, who, of course, came on briefly at the end on Monday night. For Leicester, then, it's Janina Leipzig in goal. She's on loan from Bayern Munich. They're back four, it looks like. Courtney Nevin, Ashley Plumtree, Sophie Howard and CJ Bott. In midfield, it's Sam Tierney, Ruby Mace, of course, used to play for Arsenal, and Molly Pike. And up front, it is Aileen Whelan, Jodie Green, and Hannah Kane. So that's the Leicester lineup. On the bench for them is goalkeeper Demi Lambourne. They've got Gemma Purfield, Jess Reville, Carrie Jones, Ava Barker, Monique Robinson, Mackenzie Smith, Missy Goodwin, and Remy Semson. So they are your lineups then for this game tonight. Such a big game, isn't it? Arsenal desperately need the 3 points, as we say, because we have to be in that Champions League next season, don't we? We just have to. Looking at how brilliantly we performed in the competition this season, right from that first game when we beat Lyon 5-1 away from home, we've shown, haven't we, how we can be a real big player in the Champions League going forward. And I think that what we have to do is make sure that we're in it next season, because that's vital, isn't it? Absolutely vital for the development of the club as well and this team. And we saw how many fans were there the other night. I mean, I don't know if you were at the game, anyone. It was absolutely fantastic. The atmosphere was brilliant. The game was brilliant as well. And what you have to say is, yes, we lost. And obviously that's disappointing, but you can't criticise the team for the way that they played. With the injuries that we've got, the performance was magnificent. It really was magnificent. And that's the way it is. We've got Bongo going in the chat, says, come on, you Gunners, indeed. Bongo says, wow, we were so good, especially the first half. Yeah, we were brilliant. A whole game I thought we were brilliant, but it wasn't quite meant to be, was it? Kenzo's in the chat. How you doing? Yo to you as well. Regina's in there. He says, hi, Rich. How you doing, my friend? I know you bumped into Andreas, didn't you? He was telling me about it. Regina says, Monday was a great day, just unlucky at the semi-final. Yeah, we were really unlucky at the end, wasn't we? I mean, I did say, funnily enough, and I know it might kind of haunt us now, but probably about 2 minutes before Wolfsburg scored their third goal, there's a couple of minutes left in extra time. And I turned around and said, actually, you know, expecting penalties, I've got to be honest. And I turned around and said, you know, even if, whatever the result now, whether we win or lose, whether we win or lose, whether we go through or we don't, we need to be proud of this team for how well they've performed and what a brilliant effort they gave us for all that time, two hours of football. They just gave everything, didn't they? And then straight after that, Wolfsburg went and scored. But anyway, Jem Beattie is currently getting an award on the pitch, not for a goal the other night or for knocking over Alexandra Pop, both of which were epic things that she's done for Arsenal. But this is because it's is it 150th appearance or something, isn't it? So she's getting an award for that anyway. But I mean, what a fantastic player she's been for many years at Arsenal, hasn't she? Jem Beattie, absolutely brilliant. And you know, what a little cameo she played up front, didn't she, for 5 minutes on Monday night, got the goal, and then went back again doing what she does best, which is trying to keep the ball out of our net at the other end, which she did so well, didn't she? Rajandra says, Andreas was just behind where I was seated, but recognised his voice at the end of the game. Yeah, you can't really miss Andreas. He's very tall, and he's an absolute legend. I met him afterwards as well at the Tony Adams statue, which was nice. So we had a bit of a catch-up then. And we walked back to the station together and stuff like that, so it was good. But yeah, I mean, it was a great night. You're absolutely right. It was an amazing night. And it's the sort of thing, isn't it, where I think we'll look back on Monday night in years to come, and it will be a pivotal moment for women's football, won't it, in this country and probably everywhere else in the world, because to get 60,000 fans at the Emirates, and to be fair, we could have probably sold more tickets as well. I think we could have done. So to have that kind of turnout for a women's game is incredible. Yeah, I mean, just incredible. So I think it's going to prove to be a pivotal moment. But if we're not in the Champions League next season, that is going to be a massive, massive blow, isn't it, for the club and for everybody? So we need to make sure that we win all our remaining games if we can. Chelsea away is one of them, of course. We know that's going to be difficult. We've got a couple of Malawi says, is it still possible for us to win the WSL? Well, mathematically, it's still possible. Man United would have to lose some games. Chelsea would have to lose some games. But we would have to win all our games, and let's see. But it's out of our hands. We can only win our games and see where it takes us. But we can still mathematically win it. But I don't think that's realistic, if we're honest. We need Chelsea and Man United both to drop a few points here and there. And, you know, we've only got Chelsea ourselves to play. We can take 3 points off Chelsea. But if Man United win all their games, we can't catch them, can we? So we've got Emerson in the chat there. He says, evening, Rich, and all the other members of the podcast. Yeah, and to yourself, mate. I hope you're well. I'm sure you was there Monday, wasn't you? We went into Tottenham, actually, but it was so busy. We ended up standing outside, and it was really good. Walked up to the stadium with the supporters club, and that. It was brilliant atmosphere. And it was a great night. And just unfortunate at the end, we just couldn't quite get it over the line, could we? And I think that one of the reasons for that more than anything was that, you know, just the lack of options on the bench, players to bring on. We could have done with 2 or 3 more bodies, couldn't we? Caitlin Ford would have been great to have had her fit, wouldn't it? Obviously, Kim Little or Leah. I still believe, actually, that had Leah been fit, Leah Williamson, I think we would have won this tie. I think, you know, she would have given us that extra bit in midfield that we would have needed to get through the game. So, yeah, I think that was probably the crucial moment when she went down in that Man United game. That's probably the reason why we didn't reach the final. But, you know, injuries that happen. And we've had some terrible ones, haven't we? And, of course, Laura on Monday as well. So I felt so sorry for her. It was over the other side to where we were, so we didn't really see what happened. Just saw her lying down on the pitch, and then, of course, the stretcher come on and news was coming through. It was another ACL. And, of course, it's incredible luck or bad luck that we've had on the injury front, hasn't it? Well, January says, hopefully it will be seen as the biggest club in women's football. And his little will be encouraged to join us next year. You know, exactly, yeah. This is what it's about, isn't it? It's about, we are the biggest club in women's football already, aren't we, in England, certainly. So And we proved that the other night, didn't we? 60,000. No other team would sell that many for a women's game. So we just run through the lineup again for Arsenal. Sabrina D'Angelo's in goal. What great goalkeeper she is. Lots of Wubbenmoy, Jem Beattie and Rafaela Souza is the back three. Then it's Noel Moritz, Frida Marnham, Leah Walter, Katie McCabe, sort of midfield. Victoria Pelova, Stina Blackstenius and Katarina Cole. I think Katarina Cole will be a little bit deeper out of the front three, possibly just sitting. I don't know, she might actually sit in midfield. Frida Marnham might possibly go forward a little bit more. Of course, Leicester under new manager Willie Kirk have done pretty well, haven't they? Of course, their previous manager, Lydia, is now on our coaching staff, isn't she? So that's interesting, isn't it? But just they might be lining up a back five, actually. Bott, Howard, Mace, Plumtree and Nevin. Then Whelan, Tierney, Josie Green and Molly Pike in midfield. And just one up front, Hannah Kane up front on her own. They're assuming that's how Leicester are going to line up. Probably wouldn't surprise me, actually, to be perfectly honest. You know, they want to try and keep it tight, won't they? We've beaten them quite comfortably all three previous occasions that we've played, and we've won 4-0 twice and 5-0. So have we got enough in the tank to score a load of goals tonight? I'm sure we'll win. Let us know your score prediction, guys, in the chat. I can see there's quite a few of you in. So let us know what you think what the score will be. We'll enjoy your score predictions as well. Rajendra says in our row we had supporters of other clubs, but all wearing Arsenal gear. That's what our neighbour was teasing one of his family. Yeah, no, I know there was fans of other clubs there, which was good. Rajendra says she's a Spurs fan, but was wearing an Arsenal top. Fantastic. Everson's gone 3-1 to Arsenal. That'd be fantastic. We'll take that. I've just got a feeling that I think we'll bounce back from that disappointment. They'll be hurting from that, and they want to prove a point. They want to get in the Champions League next season. So I think we're going to go for this. Leicester are playing well. They've got a great goalkeeper now on loan from Bayern Munich, but I think we'll win. I'm going to be confident. I'm going 5-0. I think we're going to be up for this game massively. Get it done early. And then hopefully that'll be that. WSL Comp says 1-0 Arsenal. Their keeper is decent and they play decent football. Now they have it. Their new manager's come in, Willie Kirk. We know him pretty well, doing a great job, but I still think we'll be too strong. Bongo Gunner's gone 4-0. Rajendra's gone 4-0. Lenny's gone 2-0. Yeah, I mean, we'll take any of those. I'll take a scrappy 1-0 if I'm honest. We'd need the 3 points. We've got a decent goal difference. Our goal difference is ahead of Man City's anyway, who we're basically fighting for that third spot with. So yeah, let's just get the win and hopefully we can move on. We just saw the injured players there. The ACL gang. They're Laura, Beth, Viv, and of course Leah Williamson. They're in the crowd watching the game. I'm sure Kim Little's there as well. Such a shame that they're not all able to take part in the game, because you'd imagine. Hello's gone for a 7-0. Well, 7-0 would be good, wouldn't it? I agree with the earlier comment about their goalkeeper, Janina Leitzig, and Andreas has said himself, you know, he watches a lot of Bayern Munich, our own Andreas, and he has already said how good she is. So we've seen her already this season. She's made a lot of appearances, played well. She's up there with the best goalkeepers in the league, and she's very, very tall as well. So it's going to be tough, but I do think we'll be bang up for this game. And I think in the first 10 or 15 minutes, I think we're going to we'll get a goal and settle us down, and I think we'll go on and dominate the game. But we'll see. The first goal could be important, because if we go 1-0 down after what happened to us the other night, have we got that mental strength? Have we got anything left in the tank to come back from a goal down? I'm not sure. Against a team that's going to be very, very solid defensively, aren't they? Bongo Gunner says, unfortunately, this isn't the Man U meme. The Man U men. No, it isn't the Man U men. No, you're right. But I don't think we'd win 7-0 against them. WSL Comp says Sabrina will keep a clean sheet. I hope so. Sabrina's a very, very good goalkeeper. I've been so impressed with her. What a great signing. You know, you got to think Victoria Pelova as well. Another signing in January. What an impact she's made. Brilliant player she's going to become, isn't she? What a great performance from her the other night as well. Both legs, actually, Victoria. And, of course, Katrina Cole's in the team today as well. So all three of our new signings. And I do want to give a real big shout out. I know I shout her out a lot. Stina Blackstenius, absolutely amazing performance the other night. And I think her injury changed the game. I think we'd have won if she'd played, because she was causing them so many problems. I still don't know why that second goal was disallowed. I haven't seen a replay of it. I know it was said it was offside. I haven't seen who was offside or how that worked. But anyway, we are about to kick off. Leicester all in blue. They'll be attacking the goal to our left, the North Bank here at Meadow Park. Arsenal in the red and white, of course, as usual. We'll be attacking the south stand, the uncovered terrace. Leicester get the game off and underway. Ball played forward, but it's headed out there by Lotte Wubben-Moy. She want to make up for that mistake at the end. We don't blame her for that tiredness as much as anything, but 9 times out of 10, she boots it up the pitch, doesn't she? And that's it. Bongo Guna says, why did Stina come off? Well, we think it was an injury, apparently, and that's why she had to come off. Obviously, it wasn't a serious injury because she's fit to play today, so all a little bit strange, but I thought that changed the game because I thought she was brilliant the other night. And she's been brilliant since the turn of the year, hasn't she? She scored, I think, 9 goals in 16 games or something since January, so she's in great form. Rajendra says there, we have Katie, who has shown how good a captain she is. Yeah, Katie's brilliant. We're coming forward against Stina. Oh, a good tackle on her there, actually, at the back. Looked like Stina was going to be in there very early. She got an early goal, of course, the other night, didn't she? WSL Comp says, is Ford out long term? No, I don't think it's long term, but it's will she play again this season? Not sure at the moment. WSL Comp says, yeah, she was injured. Yeah, she was injured, yeah. And Shahbaz VP says, live streaming, please. Unfortunately not, I would get shut down. I wish I could show you the game as well. I did it once before. I showed a little bit of a game and the channel got shut down immediately. So we can't do that, unfortunately. But it is on Sky, on Sky Showcase if you're in the UK. I'm not sure where else in the world they're showing it, actually. But stay with us. We'll keep you up to date. Everything that's happening. Jem Beattie now has got to move those legs to catch that ball, and she does. Finds Lotte Wubben-Moy. Leicester putting us under pressure high up the pitch. I think they fancy their chances here, actually, early on in this game. Lotte Wubben-Moy, though, comes across. You have to say Lotte Wubben-Moy was magnificent the other night, wasn't she? Really, really good. It's such a shame it was her mistake right at the end that cost us. But even when she gave the ball away, Lotte there, you know, we had opportunities, didn't we, to defend it better. You know, Rafaela was asleep. Tired minds and tired bodies, I think, at the end. But yeah, obviously it's Lotte's big mistake, wasn't it? And such a shame because she did have. I thought that was probably up till that point. It'd been her best game in an Arsenal shirt. I thought she was magnificent. But anyway, we are coming forward now. Rafaela Souza over on that far side plays it into midfield to Katarina Kuhl. Does well actually. She's under pressure from 2 Leicester players, but she comes out of that with a ball. Emerson says FA player and Arsenal app is showing. I don't think they're showing it. I think they just got commentary. So you might as well stay with us because our commentary is better. Anyway, Arsenal coming forward now with Victoria Palova on the edge of the penalty. She's going to get a shot away. She does get a shot away. It hits the defender. I think it was Ashley Plumter who did score an own goal for us against Leicester, of course, last season. And that's gone out for a throw to Leicester. It was CJ Bott, the New Zealander, over on that far side, the right back there for Leicester. But that was a shot there from Victoria Palova there on the edge of the box. Good defending actually from Plumtree, and Leicester did manage to scramble that ball away, and they're trying to come forward over on that far side, but Rafaela Souza's there, just rolls the ball back to Jem Beattie, pops it into midfield to Leah Walty, and it goes back to Sabrina D'Angelo, all in yellow, the Arsenal goalkeeper, just outside the area. Mark says there, is the game at Leicester what? But no, it's at Arsenal's ground. It's at Meadow Park. We're at home. Big crowd in again. Sellout it is at Meadow Park today. Again, or giving the ball away there. Actually, Arsenal now. Leicester can try and come forward, but Arsenal won the ball back. Frida Marnham now running forward. She's got options either side. Stina Blackstenius is in space on this near side. Stina on the ball on the edge of the box. Plays it back to Katarina Kuhl. Stina's going to get it back inside the edge of the 6-yard box. A shot comes in. It's blocked. It's going to be a corner. It's good defending, actually, from Ruby Mace, the former Arsenal defender. And she came across there, Ruby Mace, and managed to block that cross there from Stina. Cross shot it was. Great breakaway that was from Arsenal. Frida Marnham started it with a lovely ball to Stina Blackstenius. She played a little 1-2 there with Katarina Kuhl, but it's a corner to Arsenal on this near side. Arsenal's right. Katie McCabe is going to take this. No Steph Catley, of course, to swing it in. She's played it short too. Frida Marnham gets it back. Oh, that's a penalty. Surely it's a penalty to Arsenal. It is a penalty. Katie McCabe brought down just inside the area. Lovely feet she showed there. The short corner. Katie McCabe run at that Leicester defence. Got into the area. Went past one challenge. And then she's brought down. And Arsenal have a penalty inside 5 minutes. And it's going to be interesting to see who's going to take it, actually. It may well be Katie McCabe herself. A very, very clumsy challenge on it, you have to say, but we'll take it. She went through the middle of 2 defenders there. It was number 21, Hannah Kane. That was a forwards challenge. Definitely it was there from the Leicester forward. Stuck her leg out just inside the area. Clear penalty. And it's going to be interesting who's going to take it, because obviously Kim Little's took all our other penalties this season and scored them all. But she, of course, is injured and she's not playing. So Katie McCabe will probably fancy it, won't she? You'd imagine Frida Marnham as well probably will fancy her chances. Kane's actually gone down injured following that foul. Seems to have done an injury to her left leg, actually, which was a leg that she left out there to catch Katie McCabe for the penalty. And also got an early chance here to go in front. There's no doubt about the penalty. You don't need VAR tonight. A lot of VAR the other night, wasn't there? But you don't need VAR for that one. Clear foul. And it's definitely a penalty to Arsenal. It's going to be a bit of a hold-up here, though. Well, Hannah Kane gets some treatment for that injury that she's just picked up there, giving away that penalty. She's back on her feet again, the Leicester City striker. But it's going to be a penalty to Arsenal. And Katie McCabe, the captain, is chatting there to Victoria. Is it going to be Victoria Palova to take it, maybe? We're not sure quite yet who's going to step up for this penalty. It's a big moment in this game. I think if Arsenal score, go in front, then I think we'll go on and win comfortably. And I think that's what we need to do. We want a nice, comfortable evening, don't we, after the stresses and strains of the last few weeks. The ball is going to be placed on the spot. It is going to be Katie McCabe herself, the captain, taking up the captain's responsibility. Katie McCabe to face Janina Leitzig, the goalkeeper for Leicester City. Can Katie McCabe slot this one in and give Arsenal the lead? 6.5 minutes on the clock. Katie McCabe from the penalty spot. She was fouled. Can she finish the job herself from the spot? Left-footed penalty taker sometimes don't always have the best luck today. But anyway, Katie McCabe is going to give the Arsenal the lead, hopefully here. It's a big moment in this game very, very early on. Katie McCabe takes a penalty. Oh, it's saved by the goalkeeper. Surely that's another penalty, is it? Ball back across the box. Oh, dear me. We said left-footed penalty taker sometimes don't always go so well. It was a good save, actually, down to the right-hand side by the German goalkeeper. And the rebound now, I think it was Jem Beattie following up. Looked as though she may have been fouled in the rebound there, and Arsenal couldn't force the ball in. But we said this goalkeeper was good, and she just proved it already. Oh, we needed that to go in, didn't we? Katie McCabe there. See, it's where we miss Kim Little as well. We miss her on the pitch, but we miss her when it comes to penalties as well. That could be a big moment in this game. WSL Comp says, well, indeed. It was a good save. It was a good save, but it wasn't a bad penalty, actually. It was hit well, low into the corner, but that's a great save. And Katie McCabe it is who's missed that penalty. Left-footed penalty takers do tend to be quite easy to read. She maybe dived a bit early, the keeper, actually. She did. With VAR, that would have probably had to be retaken. But it was a good save, one-handed by the goalkeeper. Rajendra says there she'll think twice before pulling her leg out on Katie McCabe. Well, yeah, she probably will, yeah. Joanne says there 5-0 full. So, well, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? If I said 5-0, so it'd be good if it was true. But we've missed an early penalty, would have settled us down and maybe would have been on our way to a big victory. Now, we're going to have to start working hard for it again, aren't we? That was our first real opportunity as well, a clever short corner, and it led to the penalty, but Katie McCabe couldn't beat the goalkeeper. It wasn't actually that well struck. She can normally hit the ball much better than that, Katie McCabe. And I mean, the goalkeeper did dive early. There's no doubt about that, but you have to give her credit. It was a good save. She read it and got her hand to it and kept it out, and somehow the rebound didn't go in either. And how crucial may that prove to be in the overall scheme of this game? We'll have to see. Hopefully not too much. We can worry too much about that later, but we'll see. Anyway, Arsenal started the game pretty well. We are obviously the better team, as you would expect us to be. But Leicester are closing us down early. They're swarming around us. Every time we've got the ball, there's two players around us. They're not making it easy for us. But, you know, we've certainly shown that we can get amongst it and get some goals in this game. But we should be 1-0 up, of course. We should already be 1-0 up. Arsenal now trying to play it out from the back over on that far corner. Not a great ball out from Rafaela Souza. Arsenal just need to get their act together here. Cross comes in from Leicester over on that far side, but it's gone behind. It's going to be a goal kick to Arsenal. Mark says there, where are Leicester in the table? I think they're are they third from bottom, fourth from bottom. They're only 2 points away from the relegation zone, so they need points themselves. And they're not going to come here and lie down because they have to win. But yeah, they're struggling. WSL Comp says now McCabe will score a redemption later. Well, let's hope so. Let's hope she does. She certainly will want to, won't she? She'll want to put that right, won't she, Katie McCabe, I'm sure. Anyway, Arsenal just pressing from the front. They want to throw very high up the pitch over on that far side. and we've got an opportunity maybe to get the ball back into the box again, but we go backwards to Rafaela Souza now, the ball with Jen Beattie. They're 10th out of 12, are they? Right. I knew there was a sort of bottom 2 or 3. They've just picked up, and they won their last 2 games. And Arsenal now looking to come forward. Stina Blackstenius drops deep to pick that ball up, lays it back off to Jen Beattie. There was a nice bit of play from Victoria Palova just before that as well. And Arsenal now coming forward over on the far side, their left. Ball played forward there by Katie McCabe. A good running again from Stina Blackstenius. She's working hard again, as she always does. She's running at this Leicester defence now. Maybe just a little bit too much there, and ran into a challenge there from Josie Green. And Leicester now have got possession again. And the ball's now back with their goalkeeper, Light Sagigu, made that great save from the penalty. But the clearance wasn't that great, actually. It was headed forward there by Katerina Kulova on that far side. She's done well. And Arsenal now looking to get some control of this game, pinging the ball around. But that was a loose pass, actually, from Leah Walty there, unusually for her. As the song says, she never gives the ball away, but she did then. And now Leicester can come forward on this near side. But again, Arsenal pressing high up the pitch, and the ball's gone back to goalkeeper Lightsky again. That's a long clearance from her. Jen Beattie was underneath it, but the Leicester forward there won the header. And Arsenal have picked up the ball over on that far side. Pinged in to Katerina Kuhl again, trying to turn away from a challenge. Leicester have been very physical in these early stages. And Arsenal just won a free kick again there. As a foul there by Josie Green. And Arsenal got a free kick. It was on Leah Walty. We've played 11 and a half minutes here at Meadow Park. It is Arsenal 0, Leicester 0. But Arsenal should be in front. Missed a penalty after just 6 minutes. Katie McCabe's spot kick was saved by the goalkeeper, Lightskigan. Suddenly it's going to be more of an awkward evening than it could have been had that gone in. But anyway, Leicester have now won a throw over on the far side, right in front of the dugouts, in front of the main stand here at Boreham Wood, Meadow Park. Arsenal back on more familiar territory tonight. David says they're half our first team players are injured. They are. And we're still competitive. We still almost made it through the Champions League final. Incredible. Anyway, Arsenal now picks up the ball again in midfield with Frida Marnham. Plays a ball over the top. Oh, it was looking for the runner, Stina, but it's overhit. It's gone behind for a goal kick to Leicester. We've played 12 minutes here at Meadow Park. Arsenal 0, Leicester 0, but we've missed that penalty. And we still look a little bit, it seems to have affected us a little bit. We've not got our passing quite together yet. Although we have been the more dominant team, as you would expect. Frida Marnham there, 14 goals this season from midfield. What a great season she's had, Frida. She scored twice in this fixture last season. Of course, the game we won 4-0 just before Christmas 2021. She came as a sub that day and scored 2 goals. And that was maybe, a bit of a hint of what's to come this season from her that day when she got them 2 goals. Anyway, we've just won the ball back again. Noel Moritz plays it forward, looking for the run again of Stina. But Leicester do clear it away. Lotta Wubenmoy trying to win it back. But she's dispossessed, and now Leicester can come forward. That ball played into that this near corner, but it's going to run all the way through to Sabrina D'Angelo. We've got the Archduke of Austria says, good evening, and yourself, mate. Good evening to you as well. Hope you're well. Hopefully Arsenal can bounce back from Monday night's disappointment. If you didn't see the vlog I did on the channel, please check that out as well. It's a good vlog. I'm proud of the work I did on that. And hopefully it'll give you a little bit of the match day experience as well, the atmosphere, because it was a great night. Katie McCabe's done really well over on that far side. Nice little nutmeg there. Plays the ball inside to Stina, but it wasn't a great pass in the end. Went just behind the Swede, Arsenal's top scorer, with 16 goals this season. She'll be looking for more tonight, of course. That's a ball played forward again, but it's going to run through to Sabrina D'Angelo, the Arsenal goalkeeper. New signing. Looks very, very good goalkeeper, doesn't she? Had a great game. Was it Manchester City that she played, wasn't it, recently? Really good game she had there, didn't she? And I'm sure she's going to be really putting Manu Zinsberger under pressure for that #1 spot next season. I really think she will. Mark says there, where's Arsenal men's team, summer friendlies, tournaments, etc.? I'm not sure yet, actually. I think they've got something in America, haven't they? I'm not sure where the rest of them are. I'm sure they'll release details soon. Anyway, Arsenal coming forward now with Rafaela Souza, plays the ball out the far side to Stina Blackstenius. This is good play. Stina Blackstenius inside the area. She's got a run ahead of her there. She tried to go herself, Stina there. There was a great run ahead of her, actually. I can't think it wasn't running to the box there. It may well have been Victoria Palova, actually, but it was Ruby Mace there with the tackle. A great run from Stina. She's actually in her own half, so she couldn't have been offside. Got the wrong side there of the Leicester defence. Cut inside, looks like she was going to score there, but great tackle from Ruby Mace, who did well there to stop Stina there. That would have been a great goal, actually, if she could have got the ball into the net. It was a run, actually, from Victoria Palova inside that maybe took a defender away as well, but Stina decided to go herself, and why not? She must be in confident what mood at the minute. She's got a lot of goals recently. Anyway, there's a slight injury now to Sam Tierney, Leicester's top scorer this season. Well, joint top scorer with 4 goals. No, actually, she's a top scorer on her own with 4 goals. Midfield player Sam Tierney's just getting some treatment there on is it a hand injury, wrist injury? She's going to have to briefly come off the pitch. There's already been a couple of stoppages in this game. So anyway, there you go. Emerson says there the men's pre-season matches are on the website for the 2 matches. Yeah, I think that's all they've got so far, haven't they? I'm sure they'll release a load more. I like the good old days when we played friendlies against Gillingham and Southend and teams like that, rather than travelling all over the world. But anyway, that's just me. I'm a little bit old school maybe with stuff like that. But anyway, it's still Arsenal 0, Leicester 0. We have played 16.5 minutes at Meadow Park, and Arsenal missed that early penalty. And let's hope we don't pay for that later in this game. Leicester in possession at the moment, played it back to the goalkeeper. It was a good save from the goalkeeper, but wasn't the best penalty we've ever seen, was it? We were not far off penalties the other night, were we, in that Champions League game? And maybe looking at that penalty there without Kim Little, maybe going to penalties wouldn't have finished in our favour anyway, would it, if we'd held on for that extra minute or a couple of minutes at the end? Who knows? We'll never know. But anyway, Rafaela Souza now plays the ball back to Jem Beattie. I mean, how good has Jem Beattie been, actually, since she's been called into the team after Leah's injury? She's been absolutely brilliant, hasn't she? A great goal the other night as well. Noel Moritz has done well there, actually. And Lotta Wubben-Moy plays the ball forward, looking for the run of Victoria Palova. And Victoria Palova's done well and puts Noel Moritz in on this near side. Noel Moritz plays it square to Stina, to Marnham, gets it back again. Low cross into the near post, looking for the run of Stina Blackstenius. Defender comes across. That was great play. In fact, it looked like it got out for a corner, but it hasn't gone out. Noel Moritz there did really, really well. Put that cross in. Lovely play, linking up well there with Frida Marnham. But the cross there was defended well by Leicester again. And they're proving to be quite a stubborn defensive team, aren't they, Leicester? We had a feeling they might well be. So that's why that early penalty could have proved to be so important. Terry's in the chat. How you doing, Terry? Good to see you. He says, even Richard all in the chat, hit that like button. We know it helps to go in a goal score. It does, actually, yeah. Terry's right. I've forgotten about that. So if you haven't liked it yet, please give us a like, because if we get at least 30 likes, Arsenal will win this game easily, comfortably. Anything less than 30 and it's going to be a bit of a struggle. So if you want a nice easy night and you want to watch a nice easy win, just give us a like now, and then you've done your bit. And if Arsenal don't win the game, at least you can say I did my bit to help. I gave it a like. Anyway, Arsenal coming forward now with Frida Marnham. She's gone past one challenge, plays it into the box to Victoria Palova. It comes back to Frida Marnham inside the penalty area. Oh, again, Leicester scramble it away. I think it's because none of you pressed the like button quickly enough there. I think Frida Marnham might have scored had you done so. So now the ball's gone out for a throw and you've got a little opportunity now as a breaking play. Let's give it a like and let's get the goals flowing. Great play, though, again from Frida Marnham. Running forward, went past one challenge, got to the edge of the penalty area. She tried to find, I think it was Victoria Palova. And the ball came back to her, but she wasn't quite able to get the shot away. And they scrambled it clear. And Leicester have now got a throw on this near side, but it's going to run through to Lotta Wubben-Moy. Chips the ball forward, looking for Stina, who wins a header, but Leicester do come away with the ball there with Ashley Plumtree. And now they're coming forward again up this near side, but that's a poor ball forward, and Lotta Wubben-Moy's there again. Mark says, I'm a Kiwi. My travel to England was through my grand. She was born in Lincoln. Oh, Lincoln, fantastic, where I trialled. Also the Notts County I got into England through UK ancestry visa. Oh, did you? Okay. I came back to Auckland in 2003. Wow. Fantastic. You have to come back to London one day. 2002 back to Auckland. Terry says Super Gen beat. Indeed, she was Super Gen beat. I did think of you, Terry, when she scored. I must admit, it was the first thing I said to Paula. Oh, it's a lovely ball through inside the box. To Stina Blackstone. It's a good bit of defending, actually, again, from Leicester. That was CJ Bott there with a tackle on Stina. Yeah, I did think of you, Terry, when Jen scored, actually, the other night. First thing I said was Terry will be pleased. And it was a great header, wasn't it? And I love the fact that she just kind of smashed Alex Pop onto the floor straight afterwards. That was great as well, wasn't it? That was probably even better than the goal. I enjoy that probably better than the goal when you look back on it. It's hilarious, isn't it? Anyway, Arsenal now in possession again. Victoria Pelova, again, having a good start to the game. She was brilliant the other night, wasn't she? Victoria Pelova, absolutely fantastic. Played the ball square to Frida Marnham. She tried to play out to this near side. It was cut out, actually. And again, our passing is not quite happening for us yet, is it? Lots of Wilburn White steps in. There's a big chances there for Leicester in the opening stages here. Oh, good save from Sabrina D'Angelo. Came out quickly, made herself big. I think it was Josie Green trying to get on the end of that. Or was it Sam Tierney? I'm not sure. But it was a good save, actually. The Leicester player there tried to chip it over. It was Hannah Kane, actually. Tried to chip it over Sabrina, but she stood big and managed to get her hand to it. But Leicester now coming forward again. They're growing in confidence, Leicester. A little bit of space inside the box again for Kane. Gets the ball onto her right foot, but the shot's blocked by Lotta Woober-Moy. And now Katie McCabe can bring it away. A couple of shaky moments there for Arsenal. Stina trying to hold the ball up there, but it just runs away from her. Oh, that's a loose pass there. Almost picked up by Victoria Pelova, but Leicester do manage to clear it away. And suddenly a little bit of lively play there from Leicester, looking a little bit more dangerous. They've not really threatened so far. We're halfway through this first half almost. Arch Dukey of Austria says Leicester have pretty good position. Yeah, they just had a good spell there. A couple of little scary moments for us there. Shot came in there from Hannah Kane. We left her far too much space inside the penalty area. But good defending in the end from Lotta. Came across and blocked the shot. And luckily, we managed to get away with that because it wasn't that good. WSL Comp says they're fighting to stay up in the WSL. Yeah, they are. Every team at the bottom there it can go down, can't they? There's 4 or 5 teams can still go down. So Leicester need the points themselves, and I'm sure they would they'd be more than happy with a draw tonight, wouldn't they? I don't have any doubt about that. But you know, we need to. These are games we have to win. We have to find a way to win this, and we've managed to do that pretty well in recent weeks, haven't we? Certainly in the WSL, just that one recent defeat against Manchester United, where it was very unfortunate to lose that game. Anyway, we're coming forward again now. This is nice play. Frida Marnham on this near side lays it off to Noel Moritz, and she goes back to Lotta Woober-Moy. Arsenal just need to settle down a little bit and try to create a few more chances at goal. Leicester are very, very organised. They've been. Willie Kirk's worked hard with them. You can see the difference to how they were earlier in the season. I think they lost their first 7 or 8 games, didn't they? Were rooted at the bottom of the table. Looked certainties to go down, but they've turned it round and they're doing well in this particular game so far as well. But now Arsenal coming forward. Frida Marnham plays out to Katie McCabe on that far side. She goes back though to Rafaela Souza. Now it's with Jen Beattie. Pops it into Frida Marnham, who certainly in the last few games with Kim Little out has been playing a little bit more of a defensive role, hasn't she, Frida Marnham? I know it was mentioned earlier in the season, wasn't it, whether or not she could adapt to that. Jonas was saying that defensive positioning wasn't always the best. Surely that's a foul there on Stina. She won the header, tried to go round Sophie Howard, but Sophie Howard pushed her away, and the referee didn't give a free kick. Stina just went to speak to the referee about that there, and not quite sure why that wasn't a free kick because it looked a clear foul. But anyway, Leicester are back in possession. The goalkeeper goes long. It's flicked on by Josie Green, and Leicester now coming forward themselves. They're going to fancy their chance. It's Whelan on this near side, plays it in to midfield, and Leah Walshy almost wins it back there off CJ Bott. Of Sam Cheney, sorry. Now the ball has gone all the way back to the goalkeeper again. Janina Leitzig, who made that great penalty save, of course, very early in this game that had prevented Arsenal from going ahead. And really, though, we haven't had too many chances since then, have we? In fact, I don't think we've had any chances. We've huffed and puffed a little bit so far, and Arsenal just need to find a way to just it's about digging deep. This game is, let's be honest. After the other night, extra time. The fixtures haven't helped today. We play Monday night and Friday night. You know, if Sky TV want to put a game on Friday, surely you pick a team that hasn't played on Monday. You know, they pick a team that played Monday evening, and now we're playing Friday. It doesn't quite seem fair, does it? But anyway, we have to get on with it. We can't blame the fixtures all the time, can we? What we have to do is deal with it and get the game won. And so far, it's been frustrating. Arsenal had won a free kick, though. That was a blatant foul. Victoria Palova, who's done really well, actually, was just pulled back there. And they're just showing that chance from Kane. It seems strange, doesn't it, saying Kane against Arsenal, because a certain other Kane has scored quite a few goals against Arsenal in the past. This is Hannah Kane with a C, and she wasn't able to score. Thankfully, Sabrina D'Angelo with a very, very good save. And that's kept it at 0-0. So both goalkeepers have done well so far in this game. And these could well prove to be two of the best goalkeepers in the WSL, actually. Certainly, potentially. Anyway, this is nice play from Arsenal. Frida Marnham's in behind on this near side, just on the edge of the penalty. Plays the ball across looking for Stina Blackstenius, but it wasn't a great pass. But Arsenal won the ball back. Victoria Palova. Frida Marnham, a shot from distance, deflected. It's going to come now to Noel Moritz on this near side. Noel Moritz played the ball back to Lotta Woober-Moy. Plays it square now to Leah Walty. This is better from Arsenal. We're moving the ball quicker. Frida Marnham was in there. I thought she could have maybe took the ball on, and tried a shot. But she tried to find Stina, and it wasn't a great cross. And now Leicester have got a throw over on that far side. Lovely play. I think it was, I don't know who played the ball through to Frida Marnham. It might have been Victoria Palova, actually. But it was lovely play from Arsenal again. We've got... Bender Harmoni says there, where can I watch it? I'm not sure where you are in the world, my friend. It is on Sky and Sky Showcase in the UK. I'm not sure where else. Terry says, come on, 3 more thumbs up until the Gooner girls first goal. Yeah, give it a like. Say 3 more, Terry says we need. So if Terry says we need 3 more for the first goal, that's what we need. So get them in now, and hopefully we'll get the goal in the next couple of minutes for you. But not at this moment, because Sabrina D'Angelo's got the ball, but she plays it forward to Victoria Palova, who's probably been the best player on the pitch in these opening 27 minutes of this game. Lays the ball off to Noel Moritz, goes back to Lotta Wooben-Moy. Nelly's in the chat there. Can we also see the game? I'm afraid not. Due to TV rights and copyright and God knows what else, the channel will get shut down. I did it once before and we were shut down. So I had to work hard to get the channel back again. So I can't take the risk, unfortunately. But stay with us. You know, we'll have you won't miss what's happening. You just can't see it, I'm afraid, just due to, I say, copyright laws, which do seem a little bit strange. But anyway, that ball's played forward again. This is a good run by Stina Blackstenius, just inside the Leicester penalty on this near side. Stina running at the Leicester defence, plays the ball across to Katarina Cole. Oh, why didn't she try a shot? Oh, it opened up there for Katarina Cole. She tried to play it off to Katie McCabe. It's gone behind for a goal kick. She should have gone for goal there. Lovely play again from Stina. The running in behind has been brilliant in this game. She got inside the penalty area and rolled the ball across, played it back there to Katarina Cole. She had to hit that. She didn't want to hit it, and she tried to play it into Katie McCabe, and it's gone behind for a goal kick. She needs to just shoot there. Just ping a left foot a shot. I know maybe your left foot isn't your strongest, but you've just got to just get your foot through it and hit the target. Oh, it has a poor clearance by the goalkeeper, actually. Went straight to Frida Marnham, but she wasn't expecting it, Frida, and she just headed it straight back to the goalkeeper. If she could have got that ball under control, could have been a different story. Caitlin Ford's in the crowd as well, in the stand there watching the game. She looks a bit cold, actually. Maybe she needs a coat. Anyway, she's got a hat on, so she's looking cool, which is pretty good. Anyway, Jem Beattie was across there to put that ball out. It's going to be a throw to Leicester over on that far side, their left, just in front of the dugouts here at Meadow Park. It is still Arsenal 0, Leicester 0, but Arsenal did miss a very early penalty. Katie McCabe, who won the penalty, then saw it saved by the goalkeeper, Leipzig, who's got the ball now, the German on loan from Bayern Munich. That's a long clearance up this near far side, but it's gone out there for a throw to Arsenal. And that's the big talking point of this first half, that penalty save. Very, very early in this game, 6 minutes on the clock it was. Would have been a chance to really settle us down, give us that early lead. And since then, we've really, really struggled, actually, to create too much really clear opportunities. And when we've had opportunities to shoot, we're electing to pass. We need to fire some shots in. You know, this is a good goalkeeper. We're not gonna beat him if we don't shoot, are we? So that's something we need to work on in the rest of this game. We've played nearly half an hour at Meadow Park. It is Arsenal 0, Leicester 0. Arsenal have been the dominant team, but Leicester have had 1 or 2 moments themselves, and certainly it isn't a very comfortable evening for Arsenal so far. Lotta Wubben-Moy plays the ball up this near side to Noel Moritz, who's had a decent start to this game. Played the ball forward, and Steiner again trying to work hard to win the ball for Arsenal, but Leicester do win it back, but not for long. Frida Minor now plays it forward in to Victoria Pelova. Victoria Pelova played the ball through. That's near side. That's a great ball to Noel Moritz. Steiner's in space. Inside the box. Steiner gets there. She can't quite get it. It's going to fall to Katarina Kool. Oh, she's put it wide on the edge of the 6-yard box. Good run, though, from Katarina Kool to get on the end of that ball there. What great play again it was. Victoria Pelova has been absolutely magnificent in this opening half an hour. Noel Moritz pulled the ball back, looking for Steiner. Couldn't quite get there. Katarina Kool comes in with a goalkeeper flying out at her, and she had to rush the shot. Maybe just, don't know, looked as though she kind of bottled that a little bit, actually, with the goalkeeper coming at her. Tried to just dink it over her, but it's just rolled wide of that far post. And the ball played forward by Leicester again. Oh, a nice turn there from Frida Marno, and the ball's going to fall to Noel Moritz to Victoria Pelova this near side, but it doesn't quite, and Leicester can now come forward. They're not frightened to get a tackle in, are they, Leicester? And they're coming forward again, but Arsenal won the ball back. Rajendra says Katrina should have had a shot. She should have had a shot, yeah. Anyway, the ball's run back down to goalkeeper Sabrina D'Angelo at the other end. And now it's played up this near side to Noel Moritz. Lotta Wubben-Moy gets it back, goes long this time. Oh, Steiner trying to gamble there and didn't quite manage to work out for there. And now Leicester have won the ball in midfield. Play it forward again. Leicester looking quite lively when they come forward, aren't they? They're definitely giving this a go. Eileen Whelan plays it up this near side. It's to Sam Chien. He plays it back again to Whelan, the captain for Leicester. Plays it back again to Ashley Plumstead, the Nigerian. Plays it out to this near side again. This is a good spell from Leicester, actually. Inside the box, Leicester, but that cross there was cut out well by Frida Marno, who did well. And now Victoria Pelova again, trying to work some space, but in the end, she's forced back. Terry says Pelova has been a great addition to our squad this season. Seems to be getting better and better each game. She does, absolutely right. She's been brilliant. Last few games in particular, you're right. Katie McCabe now, a little bit of space over on that far side. Katie McCabe goes past one challenge, held up briefly, but Arsenal keep the ball. Leah Walty plays it into Stina Blackstenius, touches it off to Frida Marnham. Lotta Wubben-Moy now, and this near side's got a little bit of space. Plays it up the line to Noel Moritz. This is good from Arsenal. We've been better in the last 5 or 6 minutes. Can we get the goal? Ball's played back again to Lotta Wubben-Moy. It's a nice ball play. Stina's going to keep this in, is she? She does well. Stina there plays it back to Noel Moritz. Plays it into the penalty area again. Looking for Victoria Pelova, but Ashley Plumter is there and clears it away. Not for very long now. Arsenal now really starting to ramp up the pressure. Hello says, what minute are we in? We're in the 33rd minute. So we've still got 12 minutes till half time. Plenty of time to get the goal. And we've started to get a little bit ahead of steam up now. The ball's now back with Sabrina D'Angelo. Stina there is working so hard up front. I would say she's been our best player on the pitch over the last 5, 6, 7, 8 games easily. She's been brilliant. And she's having a great game tonight. And she just won the ball again there, lays it off over on that far side. Katarina Kool's done well, goes past one challenge, but not the second. And the ball goes back to goalkeeper Leipzig. And Leicester trying to play it out from the back. Victoria Pelova again, she had a great game tonight as well. Plays it back though to the goalkeeper Leicester, and this time the goalie goes long, but Jem Beattie is there with a header, heads it down into midfield. Again, it's good play from Frida Marnham. Now Noel Moritz coming forward on this right hand side. She's playing well. Noel Moritz into Frida Marnham into the box. Frida Marnham will try a shot, but she's dragged it wide. In fact, he got a deflection. It is going to be a corner to Arsenal. Just opened up there for Frida. She's not frightened of a shot from the edge of the box, is she? We've seen her bang a few in from that sort of range. That she didn't hit that particularly well, but it got a deflection. It wasn't going in anyway, I don't think, but the deflection has taken it wide anyway. Deflected off Sophie Howard, but it is a corner to Arsenal over on that far side, which Frida's going to go across to take. And there's another injury issue actually for Leicester, and it's going to be a bit more time added on. I think that's Hannah Kane again, maybe still suffering from that earlier injury that she got when she conceded the penalty. But Terry says 2 more likes for a 1-0 halftime lead. How many one else? I'm just going to have a quick check just to see what we're on, because then we can work out exactly how many we need. You see, Terry reckons we need 2. Let's have a look. What are we doing here? What have we got at a minute? Just get rid of the adverts. What are we on? Oh, we're on 18. Get it up to 20. Yeah, Terry's right. It is 2 more. Get two more likes before half time, and then we'll score and we'll be winning. And then in the second half, we want to get another 20, and then we'll score another few more goals and win, won't we? Anyway, if you're enjoying what we do, I say please give us a like. Consider subscribing as well. We do the watch-alongs of the women's games. We cover the men's team and lots of other bits and bobs as well. We do some great vlogs as well. And if you haven't seen the vlog from Monday night's game, please check that out as well, because that was a lot of fun. It was a good night. It was a good vlog as well, so please check that out as well. And lots and lots of good Arsenal women's content, women's football we do love on this channel. We do give it great coverage as well. Unlike a lot of other channels with a bigger audience than us, should be covering a women's game more, and they're not. So, but don't worry, we got you covered here. So just stay with us. Anyway, I also got this corner now over on that far side. Frida Marnham is going to swing this in. She plays it low into the near post. It's a nice play actually there from Victoria Player. But now there's a little bit of space. Katie McCabe jinks across to the far post. Header comes in from Hafire, from Jem Beattie actually, looking to score again. But it was a bit too close to the goalkeeper this time. Leipzig was she going to score past the German goalkeeper for the second time in a week? Not quite managed to there, but anyway, we've got Josanne in the chat there says something that I'm not really sure what it means, but if anyone knows what that means, please let us know. Unless you can translate, that'd be great. But I'm sure it's a good message anyway. Terry says 1-0 incoming. Well done. The chat 72 watching. Let's make it 2-0 for 30 likes. But let's make it 1-0 first. If we've got the 20, then we should get 1-0. We should get the 1-0 very soon. Then, if that's where we are, let's have a look and see. Sabrina D'Angelo plays the ball forward. It's flicked on. Oh, it was flicked on there from Victoria Palova, looking to get Stina in, but Stina was just caught on her heels a little bit there, actually. Archduke of Austria says that Jen trying to replace both Leah and Viv. Yeah, it seems like it. She's been doing a good job, hasn't she, the last few weeks? Anyway, Leicester coming forward now on this near side with Whelan. Eileen Whelan, can she keep the ball in? She does. Lots of Woober Moyes across. Whelan's done well. Can she get the cross in? She does get the cross in, but it's too close to Sabrina D'Angelo. Good save. No problem there at all from the Canadian. Kevin says, hi Richard, just tuned in, hope all is well. I've just seen a replay of penalty. Wow, the keeper was so far off the line, it's ridiculous. Yeah, I said that. She dived too early. They had VAR the other night, didn't they, in the game, which kind of spoiled it a little bit. Every single goal went in, they put a VAR on, and yet, VAR there would have made that penalty get taken again, quite honestly. But anyway, it is what it is, and we've had to suffer it. It is, we need to brush that off and come back, don't we? Rajendra says Katerina is showing promise, but lack of match practice. Yeah, I think you're right. Sharpness, not practice. I think it's sharpness, isn't it? Match sharpness. But I agree. She's looking good. Lenny says, I think Arsenal is playing so well considering the situation. That's a strong team. No, of course we're playing well. We've been playing well most of the season, haven't we? We just haven't quite managed, have we, to be able to create enough good chances in this game. Apart from the penalty, that might well be our only shot on target in this first half. Anyway, Arsenal are coming forward over on that far side. That's a foul on Stina that time. And obviously that one was given. The earlier one wasn't, and she didn't like that. But the referee's come across there to have, I think that's Sophie Howard, isn't it, that committed that foul again on Stina. This time it was given. It is going to be a free kick to Arsenal. Good position this. We've played 39 minutes. So we're coming down into the last 5-6 minutes of this first half. There'll be a bit of stoppage time. There's been 1 or 2 hold-ups. There's been 1 or 2 trainers on the pitch for Leicester players mainly. So there's a few minutes left of this first half for Arsenal to try and get ourselves in front. Katie McCabe is going to take this free kick over on that far side. Arsenal's left. No, it might be Frida Marnham, actually. Frida Marnham does tend to take a lot of these set pieces, doesn't she? Arsenal got Hafire in there, but Jem Beattie's in there. Lotta's in there. A lot of height. Can we get on the end of this free kick? It is going to be Frida Marnham with it. Frida Marnham whips into the 6-yard box. Oh, it's a Leicester head that gets there. Managed to scramble it away. Leicester do. And it's going to go all the way up to the halfway line. And now it's gone back to Sabrina. Emerson's translated for us. He said it means in English, show me a photo. Or is he asking? Oh, yeah, maybe. Oh, I see. Yeah, maybe asking to see the game. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, the images of the game. I'm really sorry we can't show the game, I'm afraid, because copyright issues, we get shut down. It's such a shame and doesn't seem fair, really, does it? But I suppose, these channels, they pay a lot of money, don't they, to get the exclusive rights to the game. I guess they're just protecting that, aren't they? But I don't really see what harm it would do. My little channel showing the game, it's not that it stop people watching it on Sky, is it? It's people that haven't got access to Sky, so they can't watch it. So they should be able to see it, shouldn't they? But anyway, that's a different issue for another day. For the time being, Arsenal are coming forward on this near side. Lotta Wubben-Moy on halfway, plays the ball forward into midfield to Frida Minor. But Leicester won it back again. They've been very, very physical, Leicester. And they've been very well organised, actually. But anyway, Jen Beattie wins that header. She's won most headers tonight, as she has done since she's come back into the side. Noel Rich's ball forward, that wasn't great. Leicester do clear it away. And then Lotta Wubben-Moy slice that clearance away. It's going to be a throw to Leicester on this near side. Kevin says they're slightly away from this game, but I read an article regarding women's footballers and the cruciate injuries saying that they are not built to play at this level. Well, I mean, they're not. I think the problem is, me and Paul were talking about this actually today. I was coming back from our trip away, and men and women physically aren't the same. And it's almost now, because women's football is become more and more popular now, they're always trying to think, well, they can just play the same amount of games as men. They can have a schedule like the men have done. I mean, Arsenal played Monday night, they're playing Friday night, and they wonder why we're getting injured, or players are getting injured. They need to look at that, don't they? And they need to understand that women and men physically aren't the same, and they can't treat them the same, because this is what's the result of it. And I do think it's a little bit to do with that. I think it's a bit to do with maybe the footwear. I think there's a few issues. They need to do a lot more work on it, don't they? Research and find out. Oh, that's a lovely touch from Stina. Oh, this is great play from Arsenal. We played the ball well over to that far side. Katie McCabe, can she get the cross in? Stina's in the box. Katie McCabe, can she get the ball across now? Plays it to Victoria Pelova inside the penalty area. Victoria Pelova still in a shot. Oh, just wide. That's the great move of the game. The best move of the game, that was from Arsenal. Lovely one-touch football there. Stina laid it off. It was played in there. Katrina Cole played it out to that far side to Katie McCabe. Look at the run Stina makes there. Should have been a first-time cross. In the end, it was a decent ball back from Katie McCabe to Victoria Pelova. She did well, Victoria, but a shot then just wide. WSL Comp says they're so true. A certain channel was streaming the Chelsea game yesterday, and it was removed after just 50 minutes. Yeah, it is ridiculous. It's not like we're going to be stopping people watching. It's people that can't watch the game. It's just another alternative. We can give them the option to be able to see the game. But then I suppose they think, well, then they won't subscribe to Sky. But anyway, so that's for another day. We've got a corner now. Katie McCabe in at the near post, headed out again by Leicester. Defended really well in this first half, you have to say. And we haven't maybe quite been at our best, unsurprisingly, with the week that we've had, with the minutes that we played. Lotta Wubben-Moy wins the ball. Does she? No. Referee's given a free kick to Leicester. Bongo Gunnar says there 84 people here, but very few likes. So give Rich some likes. No, thank you very much, mate. Yeah, give us a like. But let's get the likes up, and let's help Arsenal to win the game. That's what it's about, isn't it? Terry says there, well said, Bongo Gunnar. Indeed, Bongo Gunnar is an absolute legend of the channel. Bongo Gunnar says there, a reason might be that women generally have wider hips, which puts more pressure on the knees. Yeah, that's a fair point. That's what I said. Yeah, but possibly more than only one reason. No, you're right. I mean, I think physically men and women are different. They're built differently. They can't, they're not the same. And I think that needs to be taken into account when they're looking at sport and football in particular. It's a very physically demanding sport, isn't it? On the joints, the limbs, knees, ankles, that kind of stuff. And yeah, mate, it is. I think it is. The physical aspects of the play. I agree. And I think that's part of it. But you're right. And as Jonas said in his pre-match interview yesterday, didn't he? What he said was that there's lots of aspects to it, and that it needs to be. There just needs to be more research done, so we can try and at least find some sort of answers as to why women players are so much more prone to these sort of injuries, and what we can do to try to protect them more. If it's playing less games, let's do that. If it's better footwear, let's do that. If it's better protection on the pitch in terms of strappings and stuff like that, let's do that. Whatever we need to do, we need to do it because it's ridiculous now, isn't it? It's not just Arsenal that's affected, is it? Oh, Stina's done well over on that far side. In fact, she hasn't done because the referee, in fact, she did, and then she tripped over her own feet. But anyway, we've got Rafa Garrido there, says, from Rio, Brazil, go Arsenal. Oh, good. I'm sure you're enjoying Rafaela's performances for Arsenal, very own Brazilian in the team. And now we've got a very own Brazilian in the chat as well. Which is great to see. Callum says a draw. Well, it's a draw at the moment, but it's not even half time yet. We are now into 4 minutes of stoppage time at the end of this first half. It's been a frustrating first half from Arsenal. Not quite flowed as we like to have done. We've played some good football, and now we've got another injury over on that far side. And it looks like it might well be Katie McCabe, actually, who's gone down holding her knee, which is always a worry when it comes to Arsenal this season. I think it's Katie McCabe. Leicester have been very physical, you have to say. Although I think it's more of an ankle problem or a shin problem as opposed to a knee injury in actual fact. Kevin says discussion would make a good program for you. Richard, no, you're right. It's something that we need to discuss. I think that at the minute, though, it's a lot of speculation, isn't it, as to why it's happening and stuff like that. And I think we need to find out a little bit more about it first. Or if anybody knows, some medical experts out there who know some reasons as to why it may be happening, then please let us know, because it is something that we do want to. We talk about a lot on this channel anyway, don't we? About injuries and the players missing games and too many games and the schedule being messed about with all the time. And it's a big issue in women's football, and it needs to be sorted out before it gets worse. The injury situation, certainly. WSL Comp says there the Lionesses squad is getting really depleted. It is. I mean, how often do you get what we've had? We've had the Olympics, didn't we? Then we had the Euros, and now we've got a World Cup, 3 summers in a row, a big tournament, and that's unheard of, isn't it? It's unheard of. And with the pressures now at the top level in domestic football, in European football, it's too much, and it's had a massive impact on these players. And I don't think the ACL injuries are necessarily a result of just playing too many games. A lot of the injuries that some of the other girls have had are muscle injuries, and that is a result of playing too many games, isn't it? I think the ACL injuries could be connected to that, but there is a lot more to it. Anyway, Katie McKay's back okay again. She got a kick there under a challenge, and the referee didn't give a free kick. It's a throw to Leicester. But anyway, Leicester are in possession. There's going to be a couple more minutes added on there, you would have feel. We've played 2.5 minutes of stoppage time. There was meant to be 4, but there may well be 5 or 6 now because of that extra injury there to Katie McCabe. We've got the 1983 game says, I support Spurs. Well, I feel sorry for you, honestly, I do, but never mind. We make these choices in life, don't we? And we have to live with the consequences of it. And unfortunately for yourself, you've made a bad choice, but it's your choice, and we respect that. Bongo Guna says, I blame the refs and VAR. Well, we can blame the refs and VAR for everything else. I quite agree. I'm not quite sure if the ACL injuries are down to VAR, but we can blame it anyway, because why not? It's at fault for pretty much everything else that's wrong with the game. Anyway, Leicester now coming forward over on that far side. A cross comes in towards the near post. Good header, though, from Jen Beattie, as you would expect. That's what she's there for. So head them balls away. Another cross comes in again. This one's going to be headed away by Noel Moritz. Comes to Victoria Pelova. Plays it forward up to Stina Blackstenius, heads it back to Victoria Pelova. Can Arsenal get a goal in the dying moments of this first half? It's been a tough first half for Arsenal, maybe unsurprisingly in the circumstances, but anyway, Leicester are coming forward now over on this near side. They're going to put a cross in again. This one's deeper towards the far post. Oh, Sabrina grabs it out of the air. Brilliant catch that was there from the Canadian Arsenal goalkeeper. And we've always played the 4 minutes of stoppage time now, but there's going to be at least an extra minute added on for that Katie McCabe injury. So we're going to get a little bit more football yet before half time. Can Arsenal muster one more attack and try to get a goal and get ourselves in front before the break, which could prove to be really important. It's been a struggle this first half at times for Arsenal, hasn't it? We've had some good moments. We've played some good football at times. But when it comes to that final third, we've just lacked a little bit of, just it's not quite happening for us, is it? Unless we're well organised and playing well. Callum says there, can you sing happy birthday to my dad, Phil Mikori? Well, happy birthday, Phil. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're enjoying having a good day. And let's hope Arsenal can win. The Arsenal women can win for you tonight. That'll make your birthday better, won't it? An Arsenal win always makes it better, doesn't it? Anyway, Arsenal coming forward now, looking to try and get that. Katerina, cool it is, in possession. Nice play from her inside the centre circle. She needed to pass the ball a bit quicker there, and she didn't. And in the end, she's forced back. There was some runs in front of her there. Terry says there, 1983 game, you're still welcome. I'm glad you made the first steps on your recovery. Yeah, exactly. It's a long process, Terry. And he's right. He's got to start somewhere. The game 83 says there, Haaland or Messi. Well, I'd say Haaland at this moment, 100%. Obviously, Messi's had the career to back it up previously, but at this moment in time, it was Haaland for me, definitely. Mark says there, regards knee, ankle injury, etc. When I've had an issue, the physio gets you to strengthen your knee, ankle on a platform, a ball underneath. Yeah, no, I've seen that. Yeah. Anyone else experiences? Yeah, no, I've seen that. Yeah, maybe that's what they do. They need to strengthen around. It's not, I mean, I've had a lot of problems with my calf, actually. It goes half time whistle, actually. We did get 5.5 minutes in the end of stoppage time. It is Arsenal 0, Leicester 0. Not the best first half from Arsenal. We had to, we've had to dig in a little bit. I think the penalty miss very early on from Katie McCabe could have made a difference in this game, but it was a good save from the goalkeeper who did dive about 10 minutes before Katie even took the run up. But anyway, we need to be better in the final third. It's been a little bit of a hit and miss performance from Arsenal so far. It is at half time, Arsenal 0, Leicester 0. But still 45 minutes left for us to get the goals and get the win that we need. But no, it's right about strengthening around it. I mean, I say I've got a lot of problems with my calves, and I was told to, strengthen your calf, but strengthen the area around it because that protects the area that's prone to injury. Emerson says that ACL injuries are a delicate matter in the women's game. They are, and I think it's best not to say a lot of ifs and buts. But no, I mean, you're right. And I agree. That's what I mean. We need more research done about it. But I do think it's such a big issue that it needs to be spoken about by people that understand it a lot more than any of us do. And that's what needs to happen, doesn't it? And the people that run the game need to take it seriously and need to look at the reasons as to why it's the case. I mean, we all know the statistics are there. Women footballers are, I think, is it 60 times more likely to get an ACL injury than the men's players? And there's obviously reasons behind that. And that's what needs to be. Research needs to be done, discussions need to be had, and something needs to be sorted out so we can give the players as much protection as we can against it. You're not going to stop it. Of course you're not. ACL injuries happen, it's part of football. But if we can protect them as much as we can, then they need to do everything they can to do that, don't they? Because it's while the women's game grows and it's growing, we can't have these injuries happening all the time without anything being done to try to stop it and to look into it. So no, but you're right. It needs, but we do need discussion. We just need the right people to be doing that discussion, don't we? The people that understand what needs to be done. Mark says there, reverse psychology strengthen before injury. No, I think you're right. I was always had to strengthen the area around the weakness, if you like. If you've got a weak area, you need to strengthen around it, don't you? Because it protects it. The game 1983 says Pele to go. Well, maybe it was. I never saw Pele play live. Unfortunately, a bit before my time. I've obviously seen clips of him, and he looked a very good player. There's no doubt. Certainly in my lifetime, I think the best player that I've seen is probably Diego Maradona, if I'm honest. What he did on some of those pitches in Italy back in the day when they were, and that pitch in Mexico that time, that goal he scored against England. But I do think it's a big discussion to have, isn't it? Who's the greatest player ever? There's so many to choose from, really, isn't there? Emerson says that ex-players on Sky Sports have said a lot about it in the past few weeks, and they are spot on. I say, yeah, exactly. People that know about it. I mean, but what are they doing? What are we doing to try to help protect the players more? You can't stop it, of course you can't. It's impossible to stop injuries, and the only way you can do that is maybe I say stop tackling, but it's not even tackles that are doing it, is it? It's anatomy, isn't it? That's what it comes down to. I think it's just anatomy. Terry says, Richard, can you give me a shout when the second half starts, as I've got electric off, changing sockets in the kitchen? Well, I'll give you a shout, maybe. If you've got electric off, you're not going to hear me, are you? So I'll try. Regina says Pele, 3-time World Cup winner, no one else. Yeah, but you see, he didn't win the World Cup on his own, did he? He was part of a team. So it's difficult, isn't it? You can't judge how good a player is by the team they play in always, can you? And what they win is a lot. It's a team sport, isn't it? And what they win as part of a team if they play for a really good team, you've seen some very, very average players win the World Cup. Does that make them better players than players who have never won a World Cup? No. So it's not the only way to judge, is it? But it's obviously something. I always judge sort of trophies won more on individual sports, things like tennis and stuff like that. Golf. That's what the greatest players win the most tournaments, don't they? When it's an individual sport, but when it's a team sport, it doesn't really work like that. It's the best team that wins, but the best team doesn't always have the best player, does it? Not always. But Pele was a great player. I just didn't watch him play live, and there wasn't as much coverage back then, was there, as there is now? So it's very difficult to say. But for me, Maradona's the best player I've seen, I think. Obviously Ronaldo's up there, Messi's up there, and at the moment Haaland's up there. I mean, Haaland's a magnificent player, isn't he? As well. Banteron says, I can only what our team is going to be next season, imagining that we'll be healthy. I hope we get Russo from United, build that midfield and defence. I believe we're heading in the right direction. No, I mean, you're right. What we've got to remember, though, is that Viv isn't going to play probably till November, October. The start of the season is Beth going to play from the start of the season? Probably not. Leah's going to be out most of next season. Laura's going to be out the whole of next season. So it's not about getting a player. The players aren't going to be fit for next season, most of them. So we need to get new signings in. That's what we need to do. I think that's the first thing that we've got to do. We've got to get new signings in. We're going to need 4 or 5 new signings, aren't we? If we're going to really push on next season. And yeah, Russo would be a great start. I agree. I'd love to get Russo. Apparently, she's not signed that contract at Manchester United. So is she going to become available for us? And I'm sure she'll come to Arsenal if it'll be Arsenal that she comes to. So we'll see. Terry says, got you on a laptop. Oh, okay, mate. I'll see. To me, they've just shown a penalty there, right? And when Jen Beattie comes in for the rebound, she's fouled as well. I mean, the goalkeeper was miles off her line there. I mean, that's got to be retaken. That. Let's retake it now, shall we, during half time, because that was obviously wrong. Kevin says there, Maradona in his prime, Argentina and Napoli proved one player can coach. Yeah, in some cases it does. Yeah, you're right. But obviously, the fact that Pele's won 3 World Cups doesn't make him a better player than Maradona because he only won 1. What it means is that he played in a better team. But yeah, I mean, the fact that Maradona what he did with Napoli on its own deserves maximum credit, doesn't it? Because he basically transformed that club, didn't he? They hadn't won, I don't think they'd ever won a league. They certainly hadn't won it for a long, long time. The 1983 game says, who's better, Harry Kane and Son together versus Haaland? Haaland's better, isn't he? You look how many goals he's got. 52 goals this season. Playing in the Premier League, no one's ever got that number of goals before, have they? So, yeah, Haaland's better than. You could pretty much put every single striker in the Premier League in one side and Haaland in the other, and I'll still take Haaland just because he's incredible. He's just an amazing player. But obviously, we have a lot of banter with Spurs. Of course, we do. And Harry Kane and Son are a very good partnership. There's no doubt about that. They are a very good partnership. But I would take Haaland all day long over both of them, to be fair. But there you go. I mean, 50 goals is incredible, isn't it? But anyway, we are still at half time. We're going to be getting ready for the second half very, very shortly. And let's hope that we can get the goal in the second half or get some goals in the second half. I want more than one, ideally. 3 or 4 would be nice, wouldn't it? But at the moment, let's just get one and go from there, because I think that's what we need to do. Now, in terms of likes, I think we're on 27. So we need 3 more at half time. So give us a like. If you're 3 more of you out there, give us a like. Make it up to 30, and then we'll definitely win in the second half. That's what's lacking, you see. I did say 30 at the start, didn't I? So we do need that. And also, as well, while you're here, please check out the vlog I did as well for Monday night's game. It's on the channel. It was a great game, a great night. We captured a lot of the atmosphere, pre-match atmosphere, the stuff during the game, a bit of stuff afterwards as well. So yeah, if you got spare 10 minutes or so, check that out as well at some point. That would be really nice. Give that a like as well. Bongo Green says, if you think how entertaining Maguire is, he must be in the race as well. No, for entertainment value, absolutely. But yeah, I'm not quite sure we should be talking about Maguire and Messi and Haaland in the same sentence, should we really? But anyway, but no, I mean, it's always an interesting discussion, isn't it? Who's the best player, the greatest player ever? There's been so many, hasn't there? It's difficult to narrow it down to even a top 10 is difficult, isn't it? Of all time. I mean, you've got to think that, you know, the coverage that football gets now, there's a lot more evidence for the more modern player, isn't there, than there is for the players from yesteryear. So it's difficult to say. Plus, football's changed, hasn't it? George Best, for example, you know, it will always be one of the best players ever, but would he have been able to cope in the way the game's played today? We'll never know. I mean, some of the pitches he played on, who knows? Virginia says Brazil won when he joined the team as a 19-year-old. Then they won again 4 years later with a new team. Then finally, 1970, the new Brazil team with Pelé, 100% victories. Yeah, but they built 3 teams, didn't they? I mean, Pelé was young enough to play in 3 World Cups, wasn't he? Well, 4 World Cups, because the 66 he played as well, didn't he? And he got kicked out of that one. And they built great teams, didn't they, as well? I'm not saying Pelé's not a great player. He was a great player. But just because he played in great teams isn't enough for me to say he's definitely the greatest ever. He's got a case to be the greatest ever, but that's, for me, that's just not one of the reasons. The 1903 game says France v England was just unfair. Well, I mean, it's about unfair. It was we should have got a better result. We know that. You know, we deserve a bit more from that game, but there you go. That's life, isn't it? Rajendra says Brazil without Pelé 4 years later were not very good. Yeah, because it was, you know, football goes in cycles, doesn't it? I mean, of course, you know, you lose a very good player and you're not going to be quite as good as a team, are you? But the new players that came through as well wasn't quite up to the same level as the players before. And that's a factor as well, isn't it? It's not the only factor, but it's definitely a factor. I'll put these up because it's quite good. Holly's put there the letters there of Katie's name, which is pretty good. Katie McCabe. There we go. Katie McCabe, yeah, indeed, Katie McCabe. We need her to make up for that penalty now, don't we, in the second half? Bongo Guna says, I think for me, it is Bergkamp and Henry, but I was born in 1994. I mean, yeah, obviously Bergkamp and Henry were fantastic. I mean, Thierry Henry will always be one of the greatest players ever to play in English football, without that, and Dennis Bergkamp. But we're a bit biased, aren't we? And I think it's unfair of us to say that because we are so biased. I mean, I would put those two in the top 5 greatest players ever in world football ever. I would personally, but I say we're biased, aren't we? Because they played for our team and we saw them play a lot more, didn't we? Rajendra says Pelé was not allowed to play in Europe at that time. No, that's true. Yeah, that is true. Holly says Katie McCabe shoots from anywhere, which she does, but unfortunately she couldn't shoot from 12 yards today and score. The 903 guy says my dad supports Newcastle. That's good. Yeah, you know, interesting game on Sunday, then, isn't it for you? I know, of course, you're a Tottenham fan, aren't you? I'll bet he gave you some grief, didn't he, the other week then when they scored 6 against you? Didn't he? I bet that was fun. That was a fun day, wasn't it, for you? I'm sure. He says, Black Dennis, indeed. Black Dennis is brilliant. Kevin says, the best player ever in football. Hang on, where's that gone? If mentioned in every game. Yeah, well, that's true. Rajendra says, I only know of Pelé from the BBC. Well, no, I mean, there's lots of clips out there of him, but Holly says, Kim Little, indeed. Kim Little is fantastic as well, but injured at the moment, of course. Batteron says, for me, you also have to talk about Roberto Mancini winning Europa League with Sampdoria. Yeah, absolutely. Where are we now? Emerson says a question: which team semi-final was better in the UEFA Champions Women's Cup in 2017 or the UEFA Women's Champions League semi-final 23? See, that's a good question. I like that, and it's very difficult, isn't it, to compare eras of football. I would say at this moment in time, women's football's never been this strong. The standard of the football's never been this high ever, and I think the way that we, you know, this season's semi-final is better. Was better, definitely. There's no doubt about that in my mind. You know, the standard of football now has changed. You know, 60,000 fans at the Emirates, incredible. Who would ever have thought that would have happened. Holly, Kate McCabe again. Yeah, let's see if you can get this goal in the second half for us. That's what we want. And the night after he at least Kane's gone, no, he did score in that game, yeah. But when you lose 6-1, I'm pretty sure he's not that bothered about his goal, particularly in that game, is he? Terry says, my top 2 strikers are Steiner and Super Gem. Well, yeah, I mean, you know, they both scored the other night, didn't they? In the Champions League. You can't really argue with that. Mark says, is alcohol a drug in terms of being in player system, etc. on game day? A stimulant? Well, I mean, alcohol is a drug, technically. Does it count as a drug when they do drug testing on sports players? I'm not sure. I'm not sure, actually, because most do drink alcohol, don't they? Well, do they these days? I know they used to a lot. I think maybe nowadays, perhaps not so much so. Obviously, fitness and health is a lot more important, a lot more focused these days than it used to be. So maybe they don't drink as much footballers these days as they did. Whether it would count on a drug test, I'm not sure, actually. Not sure. Holly says they're faith player for Arsenal women. It's a difficult one, isn't it? I mean, Leah Williamson, probably for me. Stina Blackstenius is up there for me as well. It's difficult to pick one, isn't it? Because they're all such great players and such great role models for women and for women's football. So it's difficult to pick one. Leah Williamson probably just edges it for me. Just amazing. Kevin says, what's 1983 up to? He's a Tottenham fan. He's we're having some fun with him. That's all. He's enjoying himself. That's the main thing. Jot says there, what? Pelé not the greatest player? Well, no, we're not saying he's not the greatest player. All what we're saying is that there's a lot of competition, and modern footballers have had a lot more of their games are available to watch, aren't they? Whereas in Pelé's era, there wasn't so much coverage of football. Certainly not domestically for Pelé. That's the thing, is it? We'll never know with it. I mean, he played domestically, didn't he, in Brazil for Santos, scored all those goals. Whereas, you know, players like Ronaldo and Messi have played in Europe and Maradona. It's difficult to say, isn't it? I mean, Pelé was a great player. There's absolutely no question. Anyway, we're about to start the second half. So we're going to see some good players now in this second half. The night every game says PSG or Man City. Well, Man City are going to win it all, aren't they? Let's be honest. I don't think there's much doubt about that. Anyway, we've kicked off now. Arsenal attacking the goal to our left in the second half, which is a North Bank stand at Meadow Park. And we're coming forward straight away. Steiner lays that ball off to the far side. There's been no changes at half time. And I'm sure Arsenal will be making some in the second half due to tired legs. I'm sure we played extra time, of course, on Monday. But, you know, they've made us play Friday night because they just love us so much. They can't get enough of this team. They want to see us play again so soon. So thanks for that, Sky. We do appreciate the effort that you're putting in to kill our players one by one. Anyway, Sabrina D'Angelo now with his kick forward into the centre circle to Steiner, but just had it pinched off of there by Sophie Howard. Those two have had quite a lot of close, they've been in close proximity tonight, haven't they? Anyway, Leicester have made a mistake and the ball's gone out for a throw to Arsenal on this near side, has it? Oh, they said no, it looked like it went out. Anyway, it was CJ Bott did keep the ball in, and it has now gone back to the goalkeeper who's gone long, but Jem Beattie is there again with a header, and I think there's an offside against Leicester. Bongo Guna says, I think you can't really measure how great a player is. I think it's the emotions they create, and as we know, they are very individual. No, you're right. Absolutely. I mean, let's face it, any player that's played at the top level is a fantastic football player. To play at the top level, you've got to be. And yeah, everybody's got their own individual taste. Everybody likes certain things. You know, personally for me, I always preferred watching Ronaldo than Messi. Just a style of play and stuff like that. That's just my personal choice. Does that mean Ronaldo is better than Messi? No, it doesn't mean he is. I just prefer watching him. Out of the two, I prefer Ronaldo. It doesn't make him better. And, you know, I'm sure some people prefer other players as well. You know, I prefer watching Thierry Henry to pretty much anybody else. But does that make him the best player to play football? No. Just he means he's the one that I enjoy watching the most. And that's what it's about, isn't it? But yeah, absolutely right. Bongo says, hence Maguire. Well, no, you can say Maguire gives us fun, doesn't he? That's true. And if you enjoy it, then that's half the fun, isn't it? I suppose. Mark says they're second best Arsenal men's captain since Adams. Well, Vieira, obviously. Absolutely no doubt for me. Vieira is Arsenal's second best captain that I've seen. There's going to be a yellow card, is there, for Ashley Plumtree? There is. Finally, Leicester have got a yellow card. They've only committed about 1,000 fouls in this game, and they finally get one. Bongo Guna says, pure joy. Kevin says, still Maradona for me. Yeah, he's the best player I've ever seen. I I've ever seen. For me, Maradona is the best player I've ever seen. Yeah, definitely. But personal choice, other people find other players better, and that's fine. But for me, it is. I agree with you. It's definitely Maradona. That left foot was just incredible. Best left foot ever. Anyway, Arsenal just conceded a free kick now. It was Leo Walti there with the foul. And Leicester are going to take this free kick long. We played 3 minutes of the second half. Not really any pattern to this second half yet. This looks like, the longer this game is going on, it is looking more and more like it's going to be a 1-0, scrappy 1-0 win, doesn't it? That's what it looks like. Let's hope it goes our way. But we shall see. Virginia says Leah Walti was showing a strong mettle. Yes, Leah Walti always does. She's a fantastic player, isn't she, Leah Walti? Anyway, Leicester coming forward now at the start of the second half. Leah Walti just wins the ball again, just as we mentioned her. And now we're coming forward. Victoria Palova, lovely run from her again. Threads the ball through to Stina Blackstone on that far side. She needs to get a cross in. Oh, she's turned away brilliantly. I said her shirt pulled. She's inside the penalty area, pulls it back. It's going to be a goal, is it? No, it's not going to go in for Arsenal. Surely the ref's got to pull that back for the free kick now. Stina had her shirt pulled there. She's far too strong, though, for the Leicester defender. Pulled the ball back. I think it was a Katarina call. And again, we can't put the ball in the net. But really good play that was there from Stina. Again, she's had a magnificent match. She really is having a great season. Now we're coming forward again. Katie McCabe behind over on this near side. Oh, good tackle, actually, that time. It's going to be a corner, is it? Katie McCabe thinks she was fouled. She's having a word with the referee. In fact, there's an offside flag up against her anyway. So it doesn't matter. It's going to be a free kick to Leicester. Suddenly Arsenal clicking into gear maybe now at the start of the second half. We certainly need to. But Stina did so well there. Terry says, in my opinion, the game's changed too much to compare the difference between players at different. No, it has. You can only judge really on at the time, can't you? Pele was the greatest player when he played, no doubt about it. Nowadays, there's probably one or two contenders for the greatest player in modern era. But I agree with you. It's difficult to compare, isn't it? I mean, Alex James is largely considered to be Arsenal's greatest ever player, and he played in the 1930s. What do we make of that? Do you know what I mean? But anyway, Arsenal coming forward now tonight. Oh, that ball almost ran through there too. Frida Mana made a strong run from midfield, but Leicester again managed to clear the ball away. Regenda says they're invincibles with our 4 great goal scorers. Yeah, I mean, what a great team that was. What a great team that was. But yeah, those were the days, weren't they? Last time we won the league, the Invincibles, still incredible to think that, when that team was there and we won the league that season, to think we wouldn't win the league for another 20 years after that. Incredible, really, isn't it? I thought we'd go on and win the league every single season from then onwards. But anyway, that's football. Changes quickly, as we've seen. And this game needs to change quickly for Arsenal if we're going to stay in contention for the top 3. Stina is definitely leading from the front again tonight. She's proved to be such an important player. And I was thinking earlier on, actually, her form's really picked up since the turn of the year. And maybe since the speculation about Alessia Russo coming to Arsenal. Obviously they played the same role in the team. Not that having both of them in the squad wouldn't be a fantastic thing for the club, because it would, wouldn't it? But it's Stina saying, you know what, don't worry about getting a new striker. I'm here, and I'm the one that you need. But anyways, Rafaela did really well there. Finds Katarina Call on this near side, but she's lost out. Leicester now coming forward. An opportunity here for us, a CJ Bott, but Katarina Call wins the ball back well there. And again, Leicester have picked it up. They're certainly strong in the tackle, this Leicester team. Very strong and physical, battling for their life, of course, to stay in this WSL. And they've certainly had a good start to the second half, Leicester. That's Ruby Mason plays that ball forward inside the penalty area. Cross comes in, comes off Jen Beattie, and Leicester have won a corner. I think it might be their first corner. Sam Tierney, it was there. Lenny says, do you think Leah Walti, that is, will stay at Arsenal? Yeah, I think so. I do, yeah. I think she will. I think most of this team will stay. And then we'll put some additions in, and next year we'll be even stronger, won't we? And hopefully we can go on and make a big challenge on all the trophies again. But we shall see. Kevin says they're so pleased I managed to travel from Jersey to see the Invincibles. Great season, great memories. It was, yeah, brilliant. What a team. Anyway, Leicester now ball into the penalty area, headed away by Leah Walter, not very far but Arsenal should be able to complete the clearance now, but they haven't actually, and Leicester have picked the ball up again. A little bit scrappy this from Arsenal. Regenda says, hand of God. Regenda says, I never saw Maradona play except the hand of God incident. Yeah, I mean, he had a great game that day, didn't he? But anyway, Arsenal won a free kick. Leicester aren't very happy with that decision, but tough luck. But I think it was for a dive, actually. Well, maybe you need a yellow card then, ref. If you're given a free kick for diving, surely you've got to give a yellow card. It was actually Kane who gave away the penalty. Anyway, Arsenal now coming forward. Katie McCabe plays that ball forward into the centre circle, laid off there by Stina Blackstenius. Leah Walty wins a tackle, but the referee's given a free kick. And Leah Walty wasn't very happy with that decision. In fact, she's not very happy with that decision. Arsenal starting to get a little bit frustrated in this game, you have to say, and you can maybe understand why. It's been an emotional week, hasn't it, for this team, this club, for all of us, really. Let's be honest. These girls are about to lift themselves after Monday for a big game. 4 days later. It took me probably two or 3 days to emotionally recover from Monday's game. So the players have done well to have recovered again to be able to play in a game so soon. Anyway, free kick to Leicester, log into the penalty area. Header comes in, but it's straight into the arms of Sabrina D'Angelo, the Arsenal goalkeeper. Comfortable save from her. It's a decent header it was. I think it might have been Ashley Plumtree with the header. In fact, it was Eileen Whelan it was. Vimbai says their favourite Arsenal player in this current Arsenal women's team, it would be Leah Williamson when she's playing. When she's not playing, Stina Blackstenius for me. But there's so many players, to love about this team, isn't there? Bongo Guna says, speaking of how the women's football has improved, surely the refs have got worse. No, they have. The refs have definitely got worse. We've said that a few times. Terry says, Sammy Nelson is my hero. Sammy Nelson was an absolute legend. Kevin says, don't like seeing the women moaning, getting bad habits from the men. Yeah, it's creeping in, and I think it's going to creep in a bit more, isn't it? But luckily, most of the bad stuff for the women's game men's game hasn't come through yet. Now Stina's inside the penalty. The ball's going to fall to Katarina Cole. Pulls it across the box again. Have a shot. Stina's battling away inside the penalty area. Can't quite get on the end of it. Come on, Arsenal. We need a goal. Lots of Wugamoy over on that far side. Plays the ball into Frida Marnham. Leah Walty now. Oh, Katarina Cole then tries to let it run behind her, thinking maybe Stina was there, but she wasn't. And it's rolled through to goalkeeper Leitzig's. And another Arsenal attack comes up. This was a good play, though, from Arsenal. The ball played through there. Katarina Cole. Why don't you have a shot? Have a shot again. 2 or 3 times. She could have had a shot, Katarina Cole, inside the penalty, and she's elected to pass instead. She's got to have a shot sometime. You're in the penalty area, just put your foot through it and have a go. If you don't shoot, as they say, you don't score. If you don't buy a ticket, you don't win the lottery. Anyway, Leicester now coming forward over on that far side. That's good play, actually, but the cross low to the near post is going to be dealt with by Jen Beattie. The clearance actually wasn't that great, and Leicester coming forward again over on that far side. It certainly caused us 1 or 2 problems. It's crossing to the box. It's flipped on the header at the near post, but a comfortable save again from Sabrina D'Angelo. It was Sam Tierney. It was there looking for a 5th goal of the season. The cross was deflected. A good header, actually, just ahead of Leah Walty. And it was a comfortable save from the Canadian, who's got a slight injury now, it seems. You're going to have to get some treatment. It's like a hip injury there for Sabrina. Bongo Guna says there, I really like Ian Wright because he's so involved and seems to be a good person. I never saw him play, but as a human, he's very high on my list. Oh, Ian Wright was an absolute legendary player. Just brilliant player. Not only for what he did on the pitch in terms of the goals that he scored, but just the personality that he had and just everything, everything about him, brilliant. And he still is now, isn't he? You're right. He's a great character. And he's definitely an Arsenal legend. He's definitely one of my favourite ever players. Paul Merson is one of my favourite players as well. Anyway, Steph Catley looks as though she's going to be coming on for Jen Beattie, who's played nearly an hour tonight. And she's done well to play that long. I mean, bless her. She's given everything, hasn't she, over the last couple of weeks? Jen Beattie. I know she's got nothing left in those legs of hers. And she's gone off now. Jodie Taylor looks like she's going to be coming on as well. Blackstenius is going off. Another great performance from Stina Blackstenius. Again, she's got a little injury problem, hasn't she? Again, she's sort of hobbling off a bit. She worked so hard tonight, gave everything. She still doesn't look very happy. She didn't look very happy the other night when she came off. But she's injured, and she does look injured this time. So Jodie Taylor's on up front, and Steph Catley's on. You'd imagine we're probably going to go to a back four now with Steph Catley at left back. And they've just made a substitution. Gemma Purefield just replaced Ashley Plumtree for Leicester. So I think we're going to go to a back four. I think Catley will be left back. Noel Moritz will be right back, and Lotta and Rafaela will be the centre backs, won't they? So we're going to go just changing the system slightly. Do we really need three at the back against the Leicester team? Probably not. Kevin says there, this game needs a George Graham special 1-0 to the boring Arsenal. Yeah, I mean, I'd say it's more boring Leicester, the way they've played, but we haven't been great, have we? We haven't quite hit our flow, but I'm not surprised. I had a feeling this game could have been a tricky one just because of the circumstances of it all. But, you know, we've still got plenty of time. We've only played 58 minutes, so there's loads of time for Arsenal to get the goal or goals that we need. Terry says there's no love lost between me and Wrighty. I caught him trying to nick my car when we were teenagers. Yeah, he had a bit of a checkered past, didn't he, Ian Wright? There's no doubt about that. He did get a prison as well, as we know. But he's turned his life around, hasn't he? And that's all you can hope for when, you know, that happens. People have a difficult time in their life and, you know, make bad choices. And it's a matter of recovering from that, isn't it? So you've got to give him credit for that. Anyway, Steph Catley, first involvement to play that ball through, looking for Jodie Taylor. What a time it's going to be for Jodie to get her first goal on her return to Arsenal. What a night it would be to do that, wouldn't it? We know she's going to work hard up there, and that's what she's done already. Shame she couldn't play in the Champions League, isn't it? Because what a great substitute she could have been the other night when Stina had to go off. But anyway, Arsenal coming forward again now. And that's a foul on Frida Minor, but she actually kept her feet well. Puts a cross in towards the far post. It was looking for Katie McKay, but the goalkeeper, Leipzig, is there. Rafa says, why Blackstenius out? I think she's still carrying an injury. I wouldn't take her off ever. But I think she's still carrying an injury that she had from the other night. And I think that's why. Anyway, Frida Minor now. Oh, good tackle on her, actually. It looked as though she was going to burst through the midfield there, but she was tackled there. And the ball played through. Suddenly Leicester are in. Is this going to be a moment for Leicester? Oh, great save again from Sabrina. Leicester claiming a penalty. It's not a penalty. It was Kane. And Arsenal haven't really dealt with that particularly well. And Leicester there have another opportunity. And again, Sabrina's come to Arsenal's rescue. Bongo Green says, born in 1994. Kevin says, obviously a bit young. Yeah, he'd speak too young to see Wrighty then. But Wrighty was a fantastic player. What a great save that is actually there from Sabrina D'Angelo. That's two great saves she's made. Leicester haven't threatened much in this game, but on two occasions they've got through. Sabrina has been brilliant, and Lotta Wooben-Moy just carried it off. Mark C says there, Terry, who did Ian Wright play for before Palace? He played for Greenwich Borough. That's where they got him from. He played for a few teams. He played for 10MB, didn't he? But he played for Greenwich Borough as well. And then that's where Crystal Palace got him from. I think they got him for a curly whirly and a packet of crisps, didn't they? That's what they paid for him. And Crystal Palace, what a good signing he proved to be, didn't he? And of course, a brilliant signing for Arsenal. They said in the second half there, Leicester have had 3 shots and Arsenal have had none. That kind of sums up our night, really. Very, very frustrating. Sabrina's poor kick out, actually. It's gone out for a throw to Leicester. Rajendra says, Katie left back, Steffi left wing. She needs her shooting boots. Is that how we've lined up? Is it? Because Katie was just on the end, trying to get on the end of a cross a minute ago. I assume she'd stayed sort of left forward, and Steph drops in left back. Anyway, we'll see. The Munion's in the chat there. Come on, you women gunners, indeed. Come on. Terry says, Greenwich Borough. Yeah, that was who it was, exactly. Kevin says, need a statue of Wrighty outside Emirates. Yeah, that would be great, wouldn't it? There's a few players you could argue could do with a statue outside the Emirates. And I'm sure there'll be a few more over the years. We've got some good statues out there already. We were looking at them the other night. And we've also got a thrown over on the far side, which Noel Moritz is going to take. And Arsenal not had a great start to the second half, really, have we? Just that one moment before. And since Jodie Taylor's come on, we haven't really got the ball too. I don't think she's had a touch yet, Jodie Taylor. Bonga Guna says, as long as he is a pundit, not as long as he's a pundit. Yeah, you may be right. I don't know if that would have an influence on that, really. Antonio says, Leicester much better. They've been much better in the second half. I agree. They've had the better chances. There's no doubt about that. But they've just put the ball out for a throw to Arsenal. In fact, there may well have been an offside already before that. Is there? Yeah, it's an offside. It's going to be a free kick to Arsenal. Deep inside our half over on that far side. The ball goes back to Sabrina D'Angelo. Gets it up this near side to Steph Catley. Manages to keep it in. The Australian just come on. What a shift she put in the other night. She was getting massages at the end of normal time and at half time and extra time, wasn't she, to get her through the game. Great shift she put in, and she's needed a bit of a rest tonight, but she's on now. That's a quick throw. Put Jodie Taylor in over on this near side. Pulls the ball back to Frida Marnham. Tries a shot. Oh, that's a great goal from Frida Marnham. She's chipped the goalkeeper just when we needed a goal. It's Frida again. What a finish that is. She's doing her own goal of the season competition, isn't she, Frida Marnham, this season? And she's just added another one to the collection. That is quite magnificent. From the edge of the box there, she got the ball, looked up, curled it with her right foot over the keeper into the top corner, and it is. All came about from that quick throw. Jodie Taylor it was. Played the ball back to Frida on the edge of the box. Got it out of her feet. Wow, what a finish that is. That is a magnificent goal. Wow, Frida Marnham, take a bow. That is absolutely brilliant. Over the top of the goalkeeper. She's a tall goalkeeper, so they chip her. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. Bongo Guna says yes. Kevin says, wow, get in there. And Rafa says there, goal indeed in the full Brazilian style. What a finish that was. And Terry says a Frida firework. It was a Frida firework. And another magnificent goal, our 15th goal of the season. Wow, we needed something special because we wasn't really getting anywhere in this game. And suddenly, from out of nowhere, Frida Marnham has popped up with another brilliant, brilliant goal. What an amazing season she's having for Arsenal. And another important goal, and Arsenal lead. And how important might that well be? I'm sure Katie McKay's feeling a little bit better with life. Leicester made another substitution, actually. Cassie Jones has come on. Carrie Jones, sorry, has come on. And Svensson as well. So they've made a couple of subs there, Leicester, in the aftermath of that goal. But we don't care too much about that. Arsenal have got the lead. Something to build on now. Maybe slightly, I know it seems strange to say, slightly against someone to play in the second half, you have to say. Because Leicester had started the second half pretty well. But anyway, it doesn't matter now. We have got the lead. It's Whelan and Kane have gone off, and Jones and Smeason have come on for Leicester. But Arsenal have got the lead, and that's the most important thing, and a very, very good goal it was. Well, a fantastic goal, let's be honest. A brilliant, brilliant goal. And Leicester now, they're coming forward. They certainly haven't given this up, Leicester, but there's an offside there. And that is the end of that particular attack. So, Arsenal finally get a breakthrough. Wow, what a big moment that might prove to be. Terry says, no need to put Super Jen up front now to save the day. No, well, she's gone off anyway, so she can't be up front. But no, we don't need her to pop up front with a goal tonight because we've just got one from Frida. And now Arsenal coming forward again. Frida again. There's some space over on that far side for Katerina. Of course, she's got the ball now. She delivers a cross. Oh, it's a poor cross, actually. It's gone straight over the crossbar into the crowd behind the goal. She had a mixed night tonight, hasn't she? Katerina Cole, I have to say, a very mixed night for her. Vijendra says 1-0 to the Arsenal, indeed. Loki's with us. Hey there, Loki. Good to see you this evening, all. Usher up and we scored. Well, exactly. They were waiting for you, mate. That's what they were doing. They were waiting for you to come in before we scored. So, Ashley Wood, if we hold on to this lead, we will be 3 points behind Man City with a game in hand. So that's good news. And we've got a better goal difference. Terry says, come on, 9 more likes to hit 2-0 and 40 likes. We'll do that. Yeah, give it a like, guys, then. Arsenal coming forward again. We've run a corner. That was a better cross that was that time from the far side from Katerina Cole. And it is going to be a corner to Arsenal. And we'll see whether or not we can get the second goal now. But yeah, try and get 9 more likes. If you haven't liked it, give us a like, and then the second goal will go in, and you can celebrate yourself as though you scored it, because you'll have an assist. If you give it a like now and we get to 40 likes and we score, then that'll be your assist. You know, we've got a corner, so we've got an opportunity here to maybe get that second goal, which would certainly make us all feel a little bit more comfortable with life, wouldn't it? Steph Catley's going to take it. We know how great her delivery is. She's tripped over a bottle, actually. I'm not sure whether the players have put them bottles there or the fans. Anyway, it's just Steph Catley's going to take this corner from that far side. Can also get the second goal. Steph Catley's corner. It's deep towards the edge of the Rafaela's header at the near post. The ball's bowling around inside the 6-yard box. Comes out. In fact, the referee's given a free kick as Katerina called. I think it was shot over the crossbar. In fact, there was an offside in there somewhere. I'm not quite sure who was offside. It was Rafaela's header. Came in. It was a decent header from Rafaela. Yeah, I suppose it wasn't offside in there, actually. I think it was Jodie Taylor, actually, that was offside. Anyway, Lily says there, when Katie went down in the first half, I got genuinely scared. Yeah, I did. Looked like her knee, didn't it? And as soon as you see a player go down, hold their knee, you think, oh, no, not another one, please, not anymore. Much more bad luck can we have. But luckily, Katie was okay. It was a kick she got on her shin, I think, in the end. Anyway, Leicester trying to come forward again. Good defending that time from Rafael. Just putting a header in at the other end and a good defensive header there. That one was. And the ball's now gone out over on that far side. It's going to be a throw to Arsenal. Arsenal 1, Leicester 0. We've played 69 minutes. So we're coming into the important part of this game. And Arsenal got another player down. It's Steph Catley, who's just come on. Say she was struggling the other night, wasn't she, to get through extra time. She's only just come on and she's gone down again. Looks like a groin injury by the look of it, which isn't good. It seemed to be her hamstrings the other night. I noticed at the end of 90 minutes, and at half-time and extra time, she was having massage on her hamstrings. But this looks to be a groin injury. It's Jodie Taylor's going to get an assist for that goal from Frida, actually. A lovely finish, though. What a goal that is. That is just brilliant, brilliant goal. So many great moments this season from Frida Marnham. And that's another one. And important as well, isn't it, in the context of this game. Bongo Goodness says, I just answered the 1% question on the show, correct, just for your information. The 1% question. What was the 1% question? I don't know. Anyway, good for getting it right, but I don't know what it was. Anyway, there's a break in play at the minute, I'll say, because there is an injury to Steph Catley, who's only just come on. So we may have to be making another substitution. Not quite sure who'd come on, actually. Looking at who's on the bench. Would Taya Goldie maybe get a run out? No, actually, no. You'd play Katie McCabe at left back, wouldn't you? Maybe bring on Gio. Or Michelle Aguimang, who's, could prove to be an important player for us in the future, but possibly even for tonight. But anyway, we were talking about a scrappy 1-0 earlier, wasn't we? A George Graham type 1-0, and that's where we seem to be heading. But there is still 20 minutes to play. So there's enough time for us to get another goal, which will certainly make it feel a little bit more comfortable with life, because Leicester have had their moments in this game. Bongo Gunner says, just some TV show. Sorry, how can you be watching a TV show when the game's on? You should be watching the game and watching us, obviously. But how can you watch anything else when the game's on? I don't know. I don't get it. But each their own. As long as you got the question right, anyway. And it looks like Gio is going to be coming on. So I do think that changes what's going to happen. So I think Katie McCabe's going to drop into left back. Steph's going to have to unfortunately go off. She's only been on for 5 minutes? I think she might be coming back on again, actually, Steph. She's had a little jog there. So she'll see. Obviously, she doesn't want to go off, but we need to protect our players a little bit, do we? Bongo Gunner says, do we look like conceding? Well, I wouldn't say not really, no, but let's have 1 or 2 moments. We're coming forward again, no, now. Frida Marnham plays the ball through to Jodie Taylor. It's going to be a moment. Oh, not quite. It's gone wide. In fact, I think she might have been offside anyway. Good play again from Frida Marnham. Is it a corner, maybe? Brilliant play that was there from Frida Marnham. Again, having a run at this Leicester defence. She's been great tonight. Leicester are complaining. I'm not quite sure what about. Frida Marnham did really well there. She played the ball through. Oh, it looked like it could have been a handball, actually, off the Leicester defender there, just on the edge of the penalty area. The ball did come through to Jodie Taylor. Her shot was deflected wide. And it's a free kick, actually. The free kick's been given on the edge of the box. Wow, sorry. The free kick has been given. That's what Leicester were complaining about for that handball. It was a handball. You saw the replay quite clearly. The ball bounced up, hit her hand. And we've got a free kick right on the edge of the box. And Frida Marnham, eyes have lit up here. She kind of fancies this. She's already scored one cracking goal tonight. Can she score another one? Let's see. Katie McCabe also is lining up. Maybe fancies a go here, but I would leave this to Frida. The form that Frida's in front of goal. Let Frida have this. It's right on the edge of the box. It's a difficult one. Frida hits it over the box. Oh, good. Over the wall. Sorry, good save, actually. See, the problem with that is when you're that close to the edge of the area, to get it over the wall, you're never going to get the power, are you? So she chipped it over the wall, maybe hoping it would catch the keeper out, but it was too close to her, and it was a comfortable save. And anyway, Leicester now trying to come forward. Arsenal picked the ball up again with Victoria Paloma, and that's gone all the way back to Sabrina D'Angelo, who's made two good saves in this game. Sabrina D'Angelo, again, last time she played, she was brilliant against Man City. Steph Catley's gone down again, and I think that's her night up. The number of games, bearing in mind she's only just come back from injury herself. The other night was her first game for a while, and Gio's coming on, and that's that. So Steph Catley lasted, 10, 15 minutes. But during her time on the pitch, we did score the goal. So that was good news. Let's hope she's going to be fit for Wednesday night, our next game against Brighton. And Steph's come on and gone off again. And Gio is coming on. She'll play, obviously, on that left-hand side, you would imagine. And Katie McCabe will drop into left back. So, it could have been a worse player to be injured. Not that we want anyone to be injured at the minute, but in positional-wise, at least we've got, that's one position that we've got cover for, isn't it, left back? So, because Katie McCabe can drop in there, no problem at all. Terry says, any news on Fordy? I thought she was almost back. Well, no, not yet. Let's hope for Wednesday night, because we certainly missed Fordy, don't we? There's no doubt about that. She's had a great season as well. And there is Katie McCabe playing at left back now. Hoofs that ball forward. Lovely touch from Jodie Taylor to Frida Marnham. Frida Marnham running out that Leicester defence again. She's going to get another goal. She tries a shot. Oh, just over the bar. In fact, it was touched over the bar by the keeper. Frida Marnham is in great form tonight in this second half. She's got one great goal and she fancies another one there. Jodie Taylor, it was, touched the ball off to her. Frida Marnham had a run at that Leicester defence. Her backed off, and she fired in a shot. It was probably just going to dip under the crossbar, actually. A decent save from the goalkeeper. It was quite close to the goalkeeper there, but Frida now is just fancying her chances every time she gets the ball. Kevin says they're just watching the Arsenal women number 7 and thought of Rocky Rocastle for some reason. Yeah, he's probably our most famous number 7, isn't he? Yeah, such a shame, obviously, what happened to Rocky, isn't it? Anyway, Arsenal now. Katie McCabe puts across to the far post looking for a half IL, but it's overhit. And we are now into the last 15 minutes here at Meadow Park. Arsenal 1, Leicester 0. Arsenal heading for a very nervy but important 3 points to keep us in that race for the top 3, which is so important. We have to finish in the top 3 this season. We have to be back in the Champions League because we've shown how competitive we are in that competition now. That's exactly what we're showing. So that's what we've got to do. Get back in there again. And to do that, we're going to have to win most of our games, aren't we? All a mistake there from Lotte Rubenmoy and Leicester coming forward again, but they haven't made the most of that. It's gone out for a throw to Arsenal. Lily says Gio is one of my favourite Arsenal players. I think she's going to be an amazing player, isn't she? She's still very young, hasn't played many minutes yet for the team, has she? But she's an amazing player and she is going to have a really, really big future. Really exciting to see how she develops, actually, because you can see she's got ability, really, really good ability on the ball. She's got confidence, she runs at players. She just needs to have a little bit more, make the right decision in that final third a bit better, doesn't she? Pick the right final ball out, shoots a bit more sometimes and stuff, and she'll be a great player. But yeah, looking forward to seeing how she develops. She's certainly got it all there, hasn't she? There's absolutely no doubt. So let's hope that she can push on and really be a big player for us. And who knows, maybe tonight she can become a big player for us tonight and maybe get the second goal or create the second goal. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, brilliant future ahead of her, I'm sure. And let's see. Anyway, Ruby Mason going to take this throw for Leicester over on this near side in front of the West Stand. It is still Arsenal 1, Leicester 0, and Leicester coming forward now looking for an equaliser, but not going to get it as that ball bounces off the substitute there, Simonson, and it's gone out for a throw. Vimbai says there, how is Cool doing? she's had a bit of a hit and miss game, if I'm honest. She's done some nice things. She's got herself into some great positions. Too often she's looked to pass when she could have shot. It's opened up and she's tried to pass. Her final decision making isn't quite there yet. But again, she's a very young player. She's got a lot of potential, and I'm sure she's going to be a really good player. But yeah, maybe tonight you see Stina has got an injury there. She's got a strapping now on her left calf, or sort of ankle calf area, which maybe explains why she was off the other night and why she's gone off today. So, but she did work so hard. Let's hope they can patch her up and get her back fit again for Wednesday. Another big game for Arsenal, of course. We're away at Brighton. We'll be giving you coverage of that game as well on Wednesday. So join us for that, because that is going to be another important game. Terry says, did anyone see that quiz Gio was on? It's a good job. She's good. I saw that. Yeah, it was hilarious, wasn't it? Really, really funny. Terry says, come on, chat, 4 more likes. Yeah, 4 more and we'll get a second goal. So let's go, guys. Give it 4. If you haven't liked it yet, give us a like. And if you are new here and you maybe haven't subscribed, give us a subscribe as well, because, you know, we cover all the games, the women, the men, lots and lots of great shows on the channel, lots of great guests, lots of great guys in the chat as well. Yeah, it's a good little channel to be involved with, you know. So please join us and think of subscribing. And we're also coming forward again over on that far side, but Leicester do manage to scoop the ball away. It's going to be a throw to Arsenal into the last 11 minutes of normal time. 11 minutes. Kevin says, I've done my like. Good man. Thank you, Kevin. Loki says, thumbs up, peeps. It's free indeed. Thank you, Loki. It is free, and it does really help the channel. You know, sometimes I don't think you realise how important likes are. It really does help. Anyway, that ball played up this near side, looking for Frida Marnham, who's the player of the moment in this game. It's her goal that separates the teams, takes that throw quickly towards the edge of the area, and it's a free kick to Arsenal again on the edge of the box. Leah Walter it was who was fouled there by Sophie Howard, I think it was, who's committed a few fouls actually. Emerson said it's a nice pack on her left calf. Yeah, it looks like it, yeah. I know how that feels. I've had plenty of calf injuries. We've got Andy there who says, watching from Nairobi. Oh, fantastic. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're well and enjoying this show. And Terry says, goodbye, Kevin, indeed. I don't know if that was the problem she had the other night. I mean, I didn't even realise she was injured because she was playing so well on Monday, and then she got taken off, and it became to light late. I mean, I said in the vlog that you know, what's Jonas doing, taking her off. But it turns out she was injured, so we'll let him off. And obviously that injury's got worse again tonight. Let's hope that she can recover in time for Wednesday, because, you know, it's a big game. Really, really big game. Bongo Guna says, hey, Rich, I really enjoy your channel. I like the chat as well. Thank you very much for your time. But listen, mate, no, I mean, you know, the channel, you know, 90% of the channel is you guys in the chat. That's what it's about. And that's, you know, for me, that's the most important thing. You know, it's you guys that make the channel. I just sit here and ramble on for a couple of hours when the game's on, and it's you guys that make the channel what it is. So, you know, thank you for being involved and watching and commenting. It's great. Anyway, Arsenal got this free kick now on the edge of the box. Leah Walsh is okay. She took a bit of a whack there, actually, from Sophie Howard, who's given a few players a whack tonight, actually. She's out of the Lena Urberdorf school, isn't she, of football, where you don't really play any football at all. You just kick anybody that's near you. Anyway, this is a great opportunity for Frida Marnham. It's almost exactly the same position that she just scored from. If she can bend this in, you know, there's a gap there for her over on that far side. If she can get this round that wall, she's just scored a very similar position before. And this is from a set piece. Can Frida Marnham get her second goal? She fancies her chances here. Frida Marnham over the wall. Oh, it's hit the crossbar. Oh, I don't know if the goalie got attached to it. So unlucky there. She almost caught the keeper out. Rather than going for the far side, she chipped it over the wall to the near post, and it's hit the crossbar there. Wow. Almost a second goal for Frida. That would have sealed it, but it's bounced back off the crossbar there. Incredible effort, though, from Frida Marnham. Kanisha says there, greetings to you, a host of today's Women's Premier League. No, thank you very much for tuning in and joining us. Amara says there, nice game. It has been a nice game. Kanisha says, greetings to each and every one of you tuning in from all over the world. Yeah, we do get everyone from all over the world. Thank you for watching. Did the keeper touch that? No, she didn't. Straight onto the crossbar there from Frida. She knew what she wanted to do. She just couldn't quite get it down enough, but a brilliant effort from Frida again. And she turned this game in the second half, Frida Marnham. She has you know, she's probably going to end up getting player of the match because she's had the biggest impact on this game with the goal and lots of great runs forward from midfield that she's done all season, to be fair. She has had a fantastic season, hasn't she? Colonel's with us. How you doing, my friend? He says, how are you, Rich? Hope you're good. I thought I'd tune in and say hello. Hey, yeah, thanks, mate. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're well. Obviously, it looks like Arsenal might well be heading for this victory. Oh, a poor header that though from Raphael. And suddenly Leicester are in on this near side. Cross comes in. Well defended though from Katie McCabe. The general says Leah Walkley being whacked in the head. Yeah, she got a whack, didn't she, on the side of her head there from Sophie Howard. I'm surprised it wasn't a yellow card. Anyway, Leicester making 2 more substitutions now. Missy Goodwin's one of them. And the other one is Ava Baker coming on. Terry says the Colonel's in the house. Indeed, the Colonel is in the house. And we're very grateful for that as well. Anyway, it's a Leicester corner. We're into the last 6-7 minutes of this game at Meadow Park. I wouldn't say Arsenal are holding on, but we certainly need to deal with this corner, don't we? The corner comes in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Sabrina's there. She doesn't really get anything on it. And Leicester have got the ball inside the penalty area. Can they get the shot away? This shot's deflected wide. It's going to be another corner to Leicester. Sabrina came for that. She's not scared to come across as is she, Sabrina, but she didn't really get too much on that one. But she didn't get anything on it at all. That was a dangerous. Bongo Guna says dangerous. It was very, very dangerous. And the shot there was deflected wide. She doesn't make too many mistakes, Sabrina, when it comes to dealing with crosses, but she did there. But it is another corner now to Leicester over on that far side. This one's played short. The cross now comes in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, headed out by Raphael, and then it's headed out again by Victoria Plover, I think it is, and Jodie Taylor's trying to come forward, but she overran that ball slightly, but she managed to get Arsenal up the pitch, and it is going to be a free kick. Rajandra says Katrina needs shooting practice. Yeah, she does, with both feet, indeed. Canel says, was at the game on Monday. It was really unlucky. One of those disallowed goals I struggle to understand. Very hard to concentrate now. There's nothing really to play for. Yeah, I mean, Monday night was great, wasn't it? It was great. It was a great night. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And yeah, we were a bit unlucky. I didn't know what the second one was disallowed for. I've got to be honest. I haven't got a clue. I have not got a clue. Never seen a replay of it. Anyway, it was disallowed. But no, there is still lots to play for. We've got to get that top 3 to get Champions League football next season. So no, there's a lot to play for. So don't worry about that. We've got to win every game. So every single game is important. And that's why this game's been so tense, because that's what it's about. It's about winning as many games as we can now, and getting in that top 3. So yeah, lots to play for. Don't worry, there is. Anyway, let's try making these 2 substitutions now. Missy Goodwin's coming on, and I say Ava Baker. I'm not sure who's going off yet. I don't know if Willie Kirk's decided, has he? Are they going to make these substitutions now or not? Not really sure. Anyway, Missy Goodwin's a striker, so you know they're going for it now. There's an injury, that's why. Sophie Howard's got an injury. That's a shame, isn't it? When she's been kicking lumps out of everyone that's got near her, and now she's got an injury. So they're warming up another substitution. They may have to make a defensive change. But Missy Goodwin is on for Leicester, and I've not seen who's gone off actually, but we'll let you know that when we can. And yes, Missy Goodwin has come on for Leicester, and it is who's gone off there? Not really sure actually. Anyway, I'm sure it will become clear very shortly. Anyway, Katie McCabe's going to take this throw, so she's just drying the ball on her shirt before she takes this throw for Arsenal on this near side. Can Arsenal get a second goal now just to seal it, really, because it's a little bit tense, isn't it? Because we need the win, and it's only 1-0, and we know how fragile 1-0 leads can be. Anyway, Katie McCabe's going to take this throw. She's getting a great reception from the West Ham behind her. Throws it long up this near side. Leicester head it out again. It's going to be another throw. We've gained 20 yards out of the pitch anyway, so that's good, isn't it? And let's hope that we can keep the ball up that end of the pitch for these final 4 minutes of normal time. There'll be some stoppage time. There's been a few injuries in the second half, hasn't there? So let's see how it goes for these last few minutes here. Again, Arsenal trying to come forward. Katrina Cordier, though, just lost out. But she's helped to win the ball back. Katie McCabe dinks it forward to Frida Marnham. Frida Marnham's a player of the match in this game. She's going to get a second goal. Frida Marnham inside the area. She should have maybe tried to get a shot away. Tried a little bit too much that time, Frida. And now Leicester have suddenly got a counter-attacking opportunity on. It's Ruby Mace coming forward for Leicester. Cross towards the far post. There's a free chance there at the end. And there's a missed kick there. It was it Mackenzie Smith who's just come on as well? Another substitute. Oh, and she just had a free shot there almost, but luckily she missed her kick, and Arsenal there were caught out on that counter attack after Frida Mann and maybe did a little bit too much inside the Leicester penalty area. Katerina Cordo just won the ball back for Arsenal, finds Katie McCabe striding forward up this near side. The captain plays it back to Rafaela Souza. Colonel says, is there updates on any contracts like Vivian Miedemeier? She was going to leave. Well, she wasn't going to leave. She signed a 1-year contract with an option to extend. Obviously, she's been injured, so she's not going to leave now, is she? So I'm assuming that she'll extend again for another year at least, because she's not going to play, is she, for the first bit of next season anyway. So we will assume she'll stay. And yeah, hopefully we can keep most of this team together. And additions, we need additions, though. Let's be honest. Look at how we've struggled with injuries. We need additions, don't we? Especially as a lot of these players are going to be missing at the start of next season as well. Anyway, Arsenal now looking to get a second goal. Katrina Cole plays it back. Arsenal keeping possession now. Katie McCabe. Let's get this second goal now, just so we can relax for these last few minutes. Oh, this is good play from Katrina Cole inside the penalty area, but she can't get past the defender. Actually, who does pretty well. And it's a poor clearance, though. Actually, falls to Leah Volti. Doesn't score many goals. Didn't think about a shot then, actually. Victoria Palova, who's playing a lot deeper now. Kevin says, I had my nurse threatened to turn the game off on Monday as heart rate was going mental. I was loving it. Yeah, I think all our heart rates were going mental, mate, on Monday. Jesus. It was very tense, very exciting. And what a great advert it was for women's football. 60,000 fans at the Emirates. A great game, you know, and drama, VAR and everything, didn't it? And some great goals, some great play, and just brilliant, really. But yeah, it definitely wasn't good for the heart. You're absolutely right. Terry says, next season with all our players back and a few additions, we'll be unstoppable in the W. So yeah, they're not all going to be back, though, are they, straight away? That's the problem. We're going to have to play, you know, Leah won't be back till the end of the season. I doubt Laura's going to play at all next season. Kanisha says there, so we're in the table. We're in the table. Would Arsenal be, say, they win today's matchup? I think we'll be third. Or will we still be fourth? But it's so tight, isn't it? Really, really tight. But yeah, it's been one of them sort of games, hasn't it? Today, it's been a tight game, and it's tight in that top four. Anyway, it's a goal kick to Arsenal. We're into the final few seconds of the 90 minutes. There's going to be 10 minutes of stoppage time. 10 minutes. Well, I mean, there has been some stoppages. I'm not quite sure where they've got 10 minutes from. We could have done with 10 minutes every night, couldn't we? At the end of extra time. Not that we had anything left to give. But anyway, we've got 10 minutes going on here. Terry says, only downside on Monday was the wrong team lost. No, exactly. I said that afterwards when I was doing my vlog, you know, everything about that night was perfect apart from the result. Everything else was perfect. You know, the crowd, the atmosphere, the game, the way we played. It was just brilliant. It was brilliant to be a part of that. And yeah, it was just the result was the only thing missing. Anyway, Arsenal coming forward now. Victoria Palova, lovely feet from her. She finds a Frida Mann inside the box. She pokes the ball towards the goal, but she was never going to get enough power on that to beat the goalkeeper at the near post. And it's been cleared away now by Leicester. Jodie Taylor trying to get on the end of that. Good defensive play, though, from Sophie Howard. And Leicester can get the ball away. But no, they can't because Gio's won it back well there over on that far side, Gio, and then she's tripped over her own feet. In fact, she hasn't. It's been given to Arsenal. And it's a free kick, is it? Or is it a throw? Jenna Purfield there was the player involved. I thought Gio just kicked it out herself. Oh, no, she was caught. Yeah, it was a foul. Good decision that by the linesman. It was right in front of her, to be fair. Anyway, is it a free kick? Or was it given as a throw? Anyway, we've got an opportunity now to get the ball in the box. And let's see if we can get the second goal. We've played a minute and a half of the 10 of stoppage time. And it is a free kick over on that far side. Katie McCabe and Frida Mann are both over this. It is going to be very, very interesting. Are we going to get the second goal and seal the points? Let's see if we can. Who's going to take this free kick? It's always Katie McCabe and Frida Mann over him, isn't it? Or it's Steph Catley if she's on the pitch. I think this might be Katie McCabe whipping it in with her left foot over on that far side, potentially whipping an in-swinging ball. It is Katie McCabe in towards the near post, headed out though by Leicester. It's going to be a corner though to Arsenal. Good play there. Munian says we'll stay. I think we'll stay fourth, but we've got game in hand, haven't we? So that's fine. Emma says their question. What do you think of the following players who are out of contract? Darnay from PSG, yeah, very good player. Herbador from Wolfsburg, can't stand her. Obviously Russo, yeah, we definitely want Russo. And there's more out of contract. Yeah, I mean, I think Darnay at PSG is a great player. Yeah, really, really good player. And obviously Russo is one we want. I wouldn't want Herbador, just can't stand her. Can't stand anything about her. Anyway, this corner comes in. It's a deep one. The goalkeeper struggles, but actually good take from the goalkeeper there under pressure. She's a very tall goalkeeper. So she doesn't have to jump very high to reach them long balls. Yeah, I think Russo's the one. Yeah, I'd have Darnay. Munian says one game in hand, yeah, one game in hand, yeah. Cornish Goon is like, thank you very much. Good to have you on board with us. And consider subscribing as well if you like what we do. Kono says 10 minutes of injury time. Yeah, it's a joke. Cornish Goon says, do you think we will get Russo on in the summer? And if so, do you think she'll work well with our team? Yes, I actually do think we'll get her. I've been hearing that she's not. She's rejected Man United's contract offer, so she's free to leave. We put in that record bid. We clearly want her. There's no doubt about that, and I think we'll get her. I really do. I think she wants to stay in England. Obviously she's great friends with Tooney. I don't think she'll go abroad. I don't think she'll join another WSL team. I think she's an Arsenal fan. I think her family are Arsenal fans. Will she fit in with the team? That's interesting, isn't it? Her and Stina are quite similar, aren't they? If you play them both together, you've got the option of both of them, I suppose. But we don't tend to play with two centre forwards, do we? But it's great to have an extra option on the bench, isn't it? We saw it important having a sub like Russo would have been the other night when Stina had to go off because we had no one else really to play that role. So we definitely need a striker, and Russo's great. I'd love her to get her, of course. And I do think she'll fit in, yeah. Oh, unless they have a free kick deep to the far post, headed down. Arsenal just about deal with it. And he says, I prefer Russo to join us. One of the reasons I don't want Man U to win the title. Yeah, I mean, will that make a difference? I hear she's already rejected a contract offer. I think she can see that this Arsenal team are on the verge of great things in the next year, couple of years, and I think she wants to be a part of it personally. I really do. But let's see what happens anyway. Leicester coming forward now. We've not actually won this game yet. And we may not be in the Champions League next season if we don't, unless they're coming forward again, trying to spoil the party. The shot comes in from the edge of the box, but it's straight at Sabrina D'Angelo. And that's a comfortable save from our goalkeeper, which is what we want to see. Cornish Good says, I think so too. When a club comes in January with a world record bid, they're serious. Exactly, yeah. And I think she wanted to come, didn't she? She wanted to come to Arsenal in January. The club said no. And she was still under contract then. So, she wanted to come then, and now she's out of contract. She's not going to sign. Yeah, I'll be surprised if she doesn't come to Arsenal. I really do. And even if Man United do win the league, I still think she'll come to Arsenal. But we'll see. A lot of work to be done behind the scenes yet, isn't there, to get that deal over the line. But I do think we need to be in the Champions League to be able to attract the sort of players that we need. So I think that's important as well. So that's why this game is so important. But we're struggling to get the ball away at this moment in time. We've played 5 minutes of stoppages at the end of 90 minutes here. Hello says, wait, how does the Champions League qualification work at the women's team? It's a top three. Obviously, the second and third go into qualifiers. And then, obviously, the winners go through. Now, we've got a Jodie Taylor behind over on that far side inside the penalty. Jodie Taylor holds the ball up well, looking for a bit of support. She's going to try and see the game out. In fact, she's won a throw. Good play that was there from Jodie Taylor, using all her experience there to win Arsenal a throw. And it's going to be an opportunity to keep the ball in the Leicester half. Leicester till I die TV. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Hope you're well. How have Leicester played? They played well, actually. They have played well. There was 2 big saves at 0-0 that our goalkeeper Sabrina D'Angelo had to make. Could have given Leicester the lead. They've played well. They've competed. They've been physical. I say had 1 or 2 chances. Played some nice football at times. Defended well. And made it really difficult for us. So no, Leicester have played well. And if you play like this for the rest of the season, I think you'll stay up. I definitely think you'll stay up. Yeah, I've been impressed with Leicester. Obviously, they've done a job on us, which hasn't been pretty to watch. They've been very aggressive, very physical, and defended well. But from a Leicester perspective, yeah, they've played well. Yeah. Anyways, there's a yellow card for. Was that Frida Martin? What a yellow card there when she was fouled? I'm not quite sure. Anyway, the referee pointed a yellow card to Walker. It is Frida Martin with a yellow card. I'm surprised only 1-0. Well, no, it's been that sort of game. Arsenal are still feeling a little bit of the effects of Monday night, I think, as well. We haven't played brilliantly. And I suppose from a Leicester perspective, it's probably a good time to play us, actually, following on from that game on Monday. But looks like we may just about have got the job done. We just had enough quality with Frida Marnham's strike to see this through. Kevin says, playing at the Emirates might persuade a few players to sign, especially when we have a big crowd. Yeah, we're not going to play at the Emirates every game, are we, yet? But yeah, I think we still need to be the Champions League. I really do. Emerson says, winners go straight into group stage, second player qualify, and a third play two. Yeah, it's a little qualified tournament, isn't it? We had to do it the other year, didn't we? Of course, this year we just had that one qualifier against Ajax because we came. So another yellow card for Leicester. That kind of sums up their night for me. They have been very physical. Terry says, the Russo deal looks good. Her and Leah Williamson deliver takeaways in Essex together. I've seen the advert. So she must be coming. Yeah, well, they have to keep the side hustle still, don't they? These women footballers, they don't have enough money, do they? Just playing football, so they need a side hustle, don't they? Munian says 1-0 because our team is feeling tired. No, exactly, yeah, very and mentally tired as well. It's been a very difficult week. Cornish Gunner says, question, do you think Jodie had more to give in his last few games if she'd been given more minutes? No, I think Jodie's basically just there to help out if needed. So, she's coming on. Obviously, Stina had to go off, and that's what she's there for. Yeah, Frida Marnham's been given player of the match. Not really surprising, is it? It's her goal that's going to probably win this game, you feel. And she's had some great moments. She's been brilliant. Her running from midfield has been so important. And I say it was her goal that's given us hopefully going to give us the points. We're into the last minute of the 10 of stoppage time, which is why we're still playing. It's 9:30 and we should have finished by now, but we're not. But no, I think Jodie's just there to come in and do a job for a few minutes every so often. If she gets a goal or two on the way, brilliant. But that's all her role is, just to really cover. And she works hard when she's on, and she's done all right. But I don't think she's maybe fit enough to play in the WSL to be starting games and having more of an impact. We've got Lothar Mateus in the chat. How you doing? Do you support gender equality? If so, then why do you need different teams for men and women? Can't they have a same team? Well, no, you see, what you've got to remember, it's not about equality, is it? What it's about is the physical differences, isn't it? Men and women are not physically the same. Men are stronger, faster. That's just biology. So you can't have mixed teams, can you? Because, that's always going to be a problem, because you're going to have the stronger physical, faster men's players coming up against the not quite as physical and strong women's players. It's not fair, is it? Anyway, Michelle Agerman's coming on for this final few seconds. Katerina Kuhl's coming off. Not quite sure why he didn't make that change 5 minutes ago. Anyway, Katerina Kuhl's done okay tonight. I say a mixed night for her, maybe up and down. She's done okay. Terry says, I'd love to see Jodie score one last time. But yeah, of course we will. We'll love to see her score. But anyway, we'll see what happens. This free kick goes towards the edge of the box up for Michelle, who does well, actually, plays it down. We've played 100 minutes of this game, so we've played the 10 minutes. There's going to be a little bit more time maybe added on, and Arsenal just need to see this over the line for a massive, massive 3 points. Jota says they're low for equality of opportunity, not equality of outcomes. Exactly, that's exactly the point. Men and women are different, physically different, and you can't pretend they're not. And that's not equality, is it? Equality is, as you say, opportunity. Anyway, there goes the full-time whistle. Arsenal have bounced back from Champions League disappointment. A massive, massive result for Arsenal tonight as we battle to get in that top 3. And we got the job done. Difficult game, tough night. Early penalty miss didn't help. Would have maybe settled us down and would have gone on to win the game a little bit more comfortably. But Leicester battled hard. They worked hard. And in the end, though, it was that extra little bit of quality from Frida Marnham curling in that goal midway through the second half that's given us an important 3 points. A great goal again from Frida. What a season she is having. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. WSL Comps 1-0. I called it. You did call it, yeah. Good shout. 1-0. I thought we might win a little bit more comfortably. I think if the penalty goes in, we maybe do. But anyway, it didn't, did it? And we had to dig it out. Cornish Gooder says, I like Cole. She has got spirit. Yeah, she's got spirit. She just needs to work on her final ball in the penalty area, her final decision making. But yeah, she's got great potential. I'd say a bit of a mixed night for her overall, but she did okay. Andy says, I'd like Jodie to score before the season ends. I love Tobin Heath and never wanted her to leave. Yeah, Tobin Heath was a great player. She wasn't really fit though, was she? I think that was her problem. Jota says, come on, you Gunners, indeed. Bongo Guna says, good win, 3 good points. Exactly, yeah, 3 good points. Justin says, come on, you Gunner, women, indeed. Emerson says, can you remind everyone that the under-21s play their last match of the season tomorrow afternoon against Man City? Yeah, it's tomorrow afternoon, guys. Yeah, if you want to go along and watch the under-21s, last match of the season. Great season they've had. So go and give them some support as well if you can. And Lofa says, is Tony 6? I don't know. Potentially. I'm not sure who Tony is. Anyway, Bongo Guna says almost 4-0. Yeah, it was almost 4-0. Just 3 more goals when it would have been 4-0, wouldn't it? It's at Boreham Wood. Yeah, the same ground, obviously, tonight's game. So it's at Boreham Wood. Yeah, if you want to go to that game tomorrow, if you're around. Lofa says, is Tony Topalovic the right person to replace Oliver Kahn if Bayern sack Oliver Kahn as president? I'd say the person you need to speak to about that would be Andreas, because he's a big Bayern Munich fan. And he would be able to give you the answer to that. I don't know enough about that, really, to be honest with you. Obviously, Oliver Kahn is a legend, isn't he, at Bayern Munich in German football? But I'm sure Andreas will have some big opinions on that. If you next time he's on the show next week, have a word with Andreas. He'll answer that for you. So he says, hit the likes before you leave. Yep, indeed, hit the likes. Redenda says 1-0 to the Arsenal. Actually, why don't we play that? Why don't we do that? Because it has finished. It is 1-0 to the Arsenal, of course. Justin says, hello from South Africa and so happy for the team. Can't keep class down. Indeed, you can't. It was a tough game, tough night, but we've got the result and good to see you from South Africa as well. Don't forget to give us a like. Andy says, it's almost midnight in Nairobi. Have to sleep. Let's meet again. Good night. Thank you very much for tuning in, my friend. Good to see you. Get some sleep. We're back on Wednesday for the next women's game. Wednesday night, we're playing against Brighton at the same time. So if you're up and around, come and join us for that as well. Can also get another victory, but what a goal it was from Frida Marham. A goal worthy of winning any game, wasn't it? Let's be honest. Brilliant goal from her, and that's what we want. Terry says, "Yeah, well said, Justin. Indeed." And yeah, it was a tough game tonight. It was always going to be tough, wasn't it, in the circumstances? But I thought we put in a good shift. We put in everyone worked hard. We maybe lacked a little bit of motivation and drive at times, and final ball wasn't great, but we got the job done, and that's the most important thing, isn't it? And obviously, we got the 3 points, and a great goal it was as well, which is great. Roper says, "Okay, I'll subscribe. You'll wait for him and comment when he arrives." So yeah, next Friday we do a show every Friday on women's football. Andreas, he lives in Germany. He's a Bayern Munich fan. The men and the women, so he will definitely come in next Friday and speak to Andreas. He will definitely have all the information that you want to know. Any questions you've got on Bayern Munich, he's the man to speak to. Emma says, a good show as ever, and see you on Wednesday for the watch along. Yeah, thank you, my friend. Good to see you. Yeah, I look forward to Wednesday as well. Jota says, the other commitments meant I couldn't catch much of the stream, but glad to catch the last 20. Cheers, Rich, and good to see plenty of people in chat. Yeah, it's been a good night in the chat. Good to see a lot of new people in as well, which is what we want to see. Comedy's going to say, question, do you think Hurtig has shown enough this season to be retained in the summer? She hasn't had many minutes. The problem is with Lena Hurtig is she's not played. You're right, she's not played enough games. She got injured. She just seemed like she was settling in, got a couple of goals in that Champions League game, and then got an injury. We've not seen enough of her. I've not been convinced completely, if I'm honest. She's got a lot of qualities. She's strong. She's good in the air. Not quite sure if her first touch is quite there. Not quite sure if she makes the right decisions always in that final third. But she's not played enough minutes. Frida Marnham last season, did we think Frida Marnham was going to go on and become the player that she has been this season? Looking at her last season, no. She had moments last season, but she wasn't. She didn't strike us as though she was going to develop in the way that she has. And maybe Lena Hurtig could be a player like that, couldn't she? I definitely, obviously, with the injury that we've got, I would retain her next season. Hopefully she can stay free of injury and play more games, get a run in the team, and we'll see. But yeah, let's see what happens with that one. But yeah, I'd like to see more of her first before we can really judge. I'm not convinced by her, I have to say. I wasn't convinced by her before we bought her, actually. I've watched her play for Sweden a few times. I never really thought she was an Arsenal player. I was quite surprised that we signed her, but obviously Jonas maybe knows a bit more about her. So we'll see. Let's just wait and see. But yeah, I want to see her play more before I completely judge her, but she hasn't done enough for me yet. But let's see. Kevin says, thanks, Rishi, once again. Great show. Great chat, guys, in the room. Indeed, it's been great chat, yeah. As always, Terry says, are you doing a Newcastle game or are you going to sit high up in your waist? Well, funny you should mention that, Terry, because I haven't got a ticket at this moment in time. It's the first Newcastle away game I haven't got a ticket for God knows, I can't remember last time I never went. So I'm thinking of going anyway, going up there, doing a bit of a vlog. I know a lot of Newcastle fans, getting a few of them on the camera, having a little chat to them and seeing if I can get a ticket up there. That's what I'm going to try and do. I might even end up in Newcastle there, who knows? So I'm thinking of going to the game on Sunday anyway, or going to the ground and trying to get in, maybe try and blag me way in. I don't know, do what I can. Be like the old days, try and sneak in under the turnstiles and whatever it might be. But I'm going to try and get in. So I might be going up there. So I don't know if I'm doing a watch along yet. I'll make a final decision on Sunday morning probably and see. But yeah. Rajendra says, I'll see you at the Wednesday watch along. Yes, mate, indeed, we will. Take it easy. Lofa says there, we want Karim Abdul-Taylor to Arsenal men's team, a talented, good guy. What do you think? I'm not sure I know who that is, actually. Is he a Bayern Munich player, is he? Because if he is, again, Andreas will be the one to speak to. Cornish Good says, I totally agree. I thought exactly the same. Yeah, we want to see more of her, don't we, Lena Herzig? Hopefully next season we can see more of her, you know, and hopefully she can push on. Rajendra says, Katrina was good at getting the ball back, but needs to get her left foot working to improve. Yeah, I must admit, she had 2 or 3 chances to shoot with her left foot, didn't want to, and passed. But yeah, she's got, again, she's another player with potential, and that's what we want to see. Terry says, Corey Schooner, was you the one taking your kids to football a few weeks ago, or have I got it mixed up? Oh yeah, there was someone there. You're right, actually. There was. I don't know if it might well be. I'm not sure. So we'll see. Jonah says, get Lunds Water from Wolfsburg. She has great promise and looks very good. She didn't play the other night, did she? I don't think. Not sure. Anyway, Jota says, just say you know the international man of mystery. Sure, they would give you the VIP trip. Yeah, I mean that might be what I need to do, mate. I think I might have to do that. Yeah, I might have to throw in the Andreas card, mightn't I, and say, you know, do you know who I am? Do you know who I know? Do you know what I mean? You can't not let me in. Cornish Goodness says, sorry, it wasn't me, mate. No, there was. Terry's right. There was somebody who was talking about that the other week, actually. But yeah, anyway, yeah, I haven't decided what I'm doing for Sunday yet. I want to obviously get a ticket to the game. I want to go, but we shall see. So I might be there. So I'll probably go anyway, even if I haven't got a ticket. I'll probably hang about up there, chat to some fans, get some content on the video. And if I get in the ground, it'll be a bonus, wouldn't it? So we'll see. Loba says there, do you support Arsenal women's team only, or do you support the men's? No, I support the men as well. You know, obviously we talk about the men's game for Sunday. Yeah, obviously we do the men on this channel. I've supported the men's team 45 years. So yeah, I support the men's team as well. I think we all do, really. You know, it's strange actually, because you know, today it was announced on the radio, wasn't it, that Tottenham are doing a double header, aren't they? In a couple of weeks' time, the Tottenham men's team are playing against Brentford, and then straight after, the women are playing at home to Reading, and they're playing them both in the men's stadium. And you know, if you've got a ticket for the men's game, you can stay and watch the women's game. I'm not sure that's the way. That's kind of always devaluing women's football, but it's interesting to know, isn't it, how many fans follow the men's football and women's football? I mean, we were at the Emirates the other night on Monday. It's 60,000 fans, and Arsenal's men then played on Tuesday at the Emirates with 60,000 fans. How many went to both games? What was the numbers like? Because from what I saw, it was a different crowd on Monday. It was a women's crowd. Yes, there was obviously, you know, I follow the men's team. I go to men's games, and so do loads of other people. But it's a different type of crowd, isn't it? So, you know, it's, I don't know. But I think most people do now. I think most people that follow the women's team follow the men's team as well. But people that follow the men's team don't always follow the women's team. I know they don't, because some people don't like women's football, and that's their choice. I personally think they need to give it more of a chance, but there you go. Connie Schooner says, that left winger Dottier. Yeah, no, I didn't like it. She was a bit gobby, weren't she, after the game? But she is a great player, you're right. That was her coach, John's Dottier. Yeah, it is, yeah. John's Dottier, she was a good player. So I didn't particularly like what she said about our team, but yeah, she was good. Redemptor says, we are global Arsenal supporters. Yeah, we are global Arsenal supporters. Of course we are, and that's fine. So yeah, I mean, it's tense night tonight. You know, maybe what we didn't need after the recent games, but we got the win, and that was all we did need. Anyway, Jonas is chatting now. Let's have a listen to Jonas.
Was it nervous for you to watch at times? not so much nervous. I knew it was going to be a tough challenge. I saw them play against Liverpool and beating them comfortable 4-0. So we knew it was a good Leicester side that we come up to. We knew that this was a huge challenge for us coming from Monday with all that means, and be able to perform here again. I think all in all, when you look at it, we create some huge goal scoring opportunities. We miss a penalty. No one can say it wasn't deserved that we won today. But then we don't score the second goal, and then of course it becomes small margins in the end, and we need to keep our head cool, and the players were amazing doing that, so well done.
How did you feel about the energy levels of your team? You talk about only playing 4 days after that Champions League defeat in the semi-final. Did you feel that they were all giving you all the energy they could?
For sure. I tell them if there is any team that deserves a day off here now at the weekend, it's them.
And was that part of the message in the middle at the end there?
Yes, it was. They usually never get 2 days, but they got 2 days here now. They wanted 3, but I can't give them that. Now we also need to prep for Brighton, so it's
Frida Marnham keeps popping up with goals and assists this season. That's 8 goals and 2 assists in total now. She doesn't seem to score easy goals. It's always the spectacular. Just talk to me about her and her importance in this side.
Yeah, the versatility she has. Today she needed to start as one of the 2 sixes. I think we get a very good tactical change in the second half where we move her up as a 10 instead, and we overload their midfield, and had a spell there where I think we put her on the ball so many times during 10 minutes, and we killed the game there. But yeah, she's very, very good in that position. She's world class.
There was a heart in Maud's moment as well. Steph Catley came on as a substitute, then had to be bought off. It looked like it could be a groin problem, nothing too serious, but was that more precautionary?
Yeah, it was more precautionary. I had a discussion with Steph, and we just went like, can it be worse playing? Yes, it can be. We need to put that into the scale, of course, and to see how important it is today, what we have on the bench, and how important is she for us going forward. So with all that decision making, it was quite easy in the end to take the decision to bring her off there.
We caught the reaction to the goal from the bench. It looked like a lot of relief there. Also the huddle at the end, a lot of the smiles and the expressions on everyone's faces. I think an important victory. Would you reiterate the fact that you don't feel you can lose any remaining games now between now and the end of the season if you're going to be in a title race?
That's always our mentality. We always go to win. Doesn't change. 1 game at a time. Try to win.
Thank you very much, Jonas. Cheers.
Thank you.
Brilliant there from Jonas, as always. He gives good interviews, doesn't he? You got to love him. Mark says, is that the coach? What nationality? He's a coach here. Jonas Eisveld, he's Swedish, and he's funny. As Corny says, Jonas got a great sense of humor. Yes, he's a great guy, isn't he? Yeah, he's Swedish, exactly, yeah. No, he is hilarious, yeah. I love listening to his interviews. He's so funny. Rajendra says that the supporters sitting next to me are both Arsenal men and women supporters, but can't always get there. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people follow both teams, don't they? But yeah, Terry says, I wouldn't mind seeing Harman or Hartman coming to Arsenal. Women from Barca look good against Chelsea. Yeah, I don't think Barca are going to give us too many players, are they, really? We got Gio. I'm not sure we'll get too many more. But I mean, Jonas was right in what he said as well, you know, giving the players 2 days off, which is nice. They deserve some time off, don't they? But we have got a game Wednesday, another big game. So, you know, they wanted 3 days off. That's all right, isn't it? You know, but anyway, I can't really talk. I've just had a week off. We've been away, so obviously down to the Emirates on Monday we were, and we've been to the Peak District actually. A few days there, which was nice. Took me drone up, did a few bits and pieces, had some good walks and that. Get a bit of country air, a nice breakaway. And everyone needs a break, don't they? And you know, these players deserve a break as well, don't they? Because of the hard work they've put in over the last few months, you know, they deserve it today as well for the hard work they put in to get that result. And we had to work hard for that today. You know, they're just showing some clips of Frida, player of the match she got today, quite rightly so. And it was her goal, of course, that won the game. It's not just about her goal; it was just her all-round play. I thought Victoria Pelova actually is an interesting one for me because in recent games she started really, really well, and then she sort of fades out of the game and has less and less impact as it goes on. Whereas Frida today grew stronger as the game went on, didn't she? As she tends to do. And it's like Yona said there, she started in a bit of a deeper role with some of the substitutions. She was able to push forward a bit more, and that's where she's more dangerous, isn't she? That's where she plays her best football. And that proved to be decisive, didn't it, with a goal that she got, which was a fantastic goal. So, and an important goal as well, because, you know, we are now 3 points behind Man City with a game in hand. And we're closing in. They've only got 2 games left, Man City, haven't they? We've got 3. No, they've got 3. We've got 4. So one of our games is Chelsea away, but Man City have got to play Man United as well. So if we win our other 3 games and at least match their result against Man United when we play Chelsea, then we will get 3rd place. But it's not going to be easy, is it? It's certainly not going to be easy. It's the difficult games, you know, we've seen today. Even teams at the bottom of the table these days are competitive, aren't they? And we know what that's like. Terry says, yes, you visited some nice places, some great vlogging by your mum over again. Yeah, I know we got out and did some good stuff. Yeah, I crashed the drone a little bit, but luckily it was only into a little bit of grass. It survived, and it's all right. I had to reset the gimbal and stuff like that, but it was fine. Yeah, I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed getting the drone out. Actually, it's been good. Corny Screen said, I think Palova got tired. She runs so much. Yeah, maybe she's running out of steam. I think that could be the case. I say the other night as well, she was brilliant once in that first half, and then her influence seems to get less and less the longer the game goes on. And maybe she just needs to get a bit fitter so she can go on for longer into the game. But yeah, maybe she just needs to. Maybe she just needs to grow more into the game. That's what Frida does, doesn't she? She sort of grows into the game and gets stronger as it goes on, and maybe she needs to let her do that. Mark says 45 likes, you're growing. Yeah, we are growing, mate. Yeah, we are definitely growing, which is good to see. I'm glad people are enjoying what we're doing. Regenda says, I can't get to see the men's team as they are too expensive to watch live, so I support supporters who go have my respect. The women's game is affordable for me, even club class. Yeah, that's true. I'm thinking of annual membership for the women's team. Yeah, I must admit, I've never got a season ticket for the Arsenal women because I've never really felt the need to get one because it was easy enough to get tickets. They're cheap enough. Whereas now this season, there's been some sellout games at Meadow Park. We can't get a ticket for the Aston Villa game, last game of the season, and stuff like that. So I might get a season ticket actually for the women next season because I've got a feeling what's going to happen in the next few years is the prices are going to go up. They will, unfortunately. Anna says, why did they take Catley off so early? Did she get injured? Yeah, she got injured. What it was, Jonas was just talking there. He said, you know, they were worried about, obviously, their recovery from the previous game, whether or not she could last to play today. They decided to see what she was like. They brought her on to see, obviously, she felt her groin, so they took her off before it could get worse, really. So it was more of a precaution, but yeah, she's carrying a bit of an injury, so we're going to have to maybe nurse her through the next couple of weeks. And she's not the only one nursing injuries, I'm sure. They've put so much in, haven't they? And let's bear in mind, Steph Catley's only recently got back off injury herself, hasn't she? So, you know, she gave a great shift the other night in that semi-final. I mean, she had to have massages at the end of the game and stuff like that. So to even get, I was quite surprised she was even in the squad today. So I wasn't surprised she didn't start. And yeah, you know, Jen Beattie can't play a full 90 minutes either today. So they used that opportunity. It didn't quite work. Steph had, 10, 15 minutes. And they thought, no, we're not going to take the risk. We've got enough injured as it is. We can't afford to lose her. So they took her off, and a right decision. You know, we got the goal when she was on as well. So that kind of helped, didn't it? Terry says, I think the way things are going, soon you have trouble getting to. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think with the women's game now, you can see the fact that we could get 60,000 people. Yes, I think a lot of those people turned up on Monday because of the uniqueness of the event, I suppose, as Champions League semi-final at the Emirates. And, you know, women's football at the moment, following on from the Euros, it's the place to be, isn't it? And I do think that it's not always going to be like that. But yeah, it's going to become harder and harder to get tickets, especially at Meadow Park. And I do think the prices are going to go up as well. You know, we were lucky for the semi-final because we went in with the supporters club group booking. It was £7.50 a ticket because you get a group discount. I mean, £7.50 to watch the Champions League semi-final at the Emirates, a game like that. It's like, wow, they can't keep the prices at that level. They can't. And even I think a normal ticket was like a £10 a minute or £12 or something if you bought it on the day. Not that you could buy them on the day in the end, but do you know what I mean? So the prices will go up. Inevitably they will. And it's going to be harder and harder to get tickets. But it's fine. You know, we will, hopefully still be able to get to games. But I'm definitely thinking of buying a season ticket for next season at Meadow Park. And even if you only go to 5 or 6 games, it's worth it, isn't it? Because you've Andreas has got a season ticket. He can't get over here every single game. Of course he can't, because it's he's got to come over from Germany. So it's worth it. Anyway, Jem Beattie is now speaking.
A lot of us emotionally and physically. So yeah, it was not the best performance, but like we got the job done. 3 points was massive, and credit to Leicester. They made it really difficult for us.
We said that actually. We saw you all in the huddle at the end. Even the injured players that were behind us watching this one, wanting to be part of it. How is that keeping you going? That mentality.
Honestly, it's been massive all year. I can honestly say, because we've picked up niggles from the get go, and it's kind of been a general consensus all year how important the squad's been, and the morale behind the scenes, and the input that even the injured players still have when they are injured. When they've all been instrumental in giving their input when and where they can. So yeah, it's a great group of people, and thank that everyone has each other's backs, whoever's on the pitch. So we're in a good place.
These two are going to pepper you with some questions in just for a moment. No, it's all right. Hold on. They're picking some up in just a moment. Showcase, if you're watching us on Showcase at the moment, you're going to leave us in just a moment. Before they do, Jen, does this team still believe they can go and win the title?
Yeah, 100%. I think why not? I think we've shown against Wolfsburg in European football of what we can do, and it's credit to the girls and plugging through and getting results like this tonight. But we've still got plenty more games and much more football to play, and there's so many teams who are taking points off each other, and 100% we can do it.
Stay with us. Do stay with us on Sky Sports Football. And
Jem B, what an absolute legend she is, isn't she? Great to hear from her there. I mean, do they really believe they can win the league still? I'm not sure, but they've just got to say they believe it. And, all we need to do is, as Jonas has said, focus on each game, try and win each game and see where we end up. If we win every game, we're not going to be far off where we want to be, are we? And we're certainly going to be top 3 if we win every game. So let's just concentrate one game at a time. And so we are. Jonas says, great commentary. See you Wednesday. How about Sunday? Well, I say I'm not sure about Sunday. I might be going to the game. I haven't got a ticket yet, but I may be going up there and seeing if I can get in, or seeing if I can get a ticket, or just doing some content outside the ground potentially if I can't get in. So I probably won't be doing a watch along Sunday. I haven't confirmed it yet, but I'll see. But definitely Wednesday for the Brighton game, absolutely. Comedy School says, brilliant watch along as normal. Thank you. No, thank you very much for your comments and joining us. That's what what it's about. I say the show is 90% you guys, and I just sit here rambling on for a bit. And if you guys enjoy it and your comments that you make as well, it makes a show, doesn't it? We read out your comments, we have discussions on your comments and stuff like that. It's what it's about, isn't it? You're a part of the show, and you make the show what it is. And I appreciate every single one of you. Lofa says there, some people are saying that seeing Arsenal represent England in the Champions League in next season is embarrassing and very shameful. Why would it be embarrassing and shameful? I don't understand why people would think that, because Arsenal are a great team with great players, and deserve to be in the Champions League representing the English League, because they're a brilliant team. Redemptor says, believe and we can do it. Well, all I want us to focus on is the next match, Wednesday. Let's win Wednesday. Brilliant. Then, let's win the game after, which is Everton away. Let's win that one as well. And then it's Chelsea. Let's win that one. Then it's Aston Villa. Let's win that one. Let's see where we end up. If we win all 4 games, we're going to be at least top 3. Yes, we've got to rely on Man United dropping points. If we're going to win the league, we're going to have to rely on Man United dropping points, aren't we? That's what we're going to have to do. We can win our games, and it won't be enough if they win all theirs. So, we need someone to help us out somewhere along the way. Man City, them could draw. We beat Chelsea. Man United draw another game. Who knows? But they keep getting last-minute winners, don't they? Rather annoyingly. Terry says, Richard, have a great few days off. And everyone in the chat, hit that like button before you go. Come on, you Gooner Girls, indeed. Come on, you Gooner Girls. Kanisha says, thank you for keeping us as supporters up to date each match that I've known. No problem at all. Thank you very much for watching. That's what we want to see. Loeb says, sack Arteta if you don't win the Premier League this season. Well, I must admit, I do agree with you. I would sack him if we don't win the Premier League. I would have sacked him last year, and I would have sacked him the year before, and I would have sacked him the year before that. But he's still here. So there you go. And if we don't win the league, I agree. We've blown it again. Every time the pressure's on, we crumble under this manager. It's happened every single time. And yes, we've improved. We've gone from 8th to 5th to potentially 2nd, which is an improvement each year. But if we're always going to crumble when the pressure's on, we're never going to get those big trophies, are we? So there you go. Bongo Guna says, cheers, Rich. Have a good night yourself, mate. Yeah, enjoy your weekend. Herman says, good afternoon. Yeah, good afternoon to you as well, mate. You're a bit late now. The game's finished. You missed it, but it was a decent game. We won 1-0. Bongo Guna says, who would you take? It's an interesting one, isn't it? Because I don't know. It's a tricky one, isn't it? I mean, in the Premier League at the moment, what I look at is, right, and I know we don't really want to talk too much about the men's team tonight because this is about the Arsenal women, but look how quickly and how much improvement Eddie Howe's made at Newcastle. Look how quickly Ten Hag has improved Manchester United. Why has it taken Arteta nearly 4 years to get us back in the Champions League again? You know, this is what I don't understand, but you know, that's a whole new show on its own, isn't it? And I'm sure we will have that show at some stage. 100% agree. Herman says, I've been very busy. No worries at all, mate. You're good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Even if you missed the game. It wasn't the greatest game, let's be honest, but you're here now, and that's the main thing. Terry says, yes, 100% agree. I'll take her out. Well, you know, we can still win the league. Let's wait and see. Lowe says there, sack player like Saka, Ødegaard, and Aaron Ramsdale. Well, I don't know about Saka. Aaron Ramsdale, yes, I wouldn't be too disappointed if he left. I don't think he's top quality. Ødegaard's a funny one, isn't he? He's a very, very talented player, but he doesn't seem to do enough in the big games for me. But that's just me. Everyone loves him, so that's fair enough. He's got nice hair. Regeneron says, yeah, we had an exciting year and I believe we can win. Of course we can win, yeah, absolutely. We can. Will we? That's the question, though, isn't it? Lofa says there, sign Diego Simone to Arsenal if you want to win something. Yeah, potentially. I'm not sure the football will be that great, but who knows? Herman says there, Stina's been great of late. This is a good sign. I agree. I think she has been great. Yeah, 100%. And it is a good sign. We need her to continue to be great. Bongo Guna says, no, I think Arteta should stay. I believe that this is a long-term project and we are ahead of schedule. Compare it to teams changing their manager all the time. Yeah, see, you're saying ahead of schedule, but how are we ahead of schedule? At the start of the season, our target was top 4. We've got top 4. So we've hit schedule. We're not ahead of schedule. We're on schedule. If that was the schedule. To me, we should have got top 4 last year. So we're behind schedule. We're a year behind because we should have been playing in the Champions League this season. We were, 3 points clear in 4th place with 2 games to go. We should have got top 4 last year. So we're actually a year behind schedule, I think. But that's just my personal opinion on it, you know. And even if you wanted to say, okay, last season would have been ahead to get top 4. Okay, this season, though, top 4 was the target. We've got top 4. We're on target. We're not ahead of schedule. We're only ahead of schedule in the PR that comes out of the club to make us believe that we're on this pathway. Let's see, you know, this season has been great. Yes, of course it has. You know, we've challenged for the title. We're bottling it a bit at the end, but we've challenged. Next season is going to be a big one now, isn't it? Because it's not, anybody can have one good season. You know, we've been very lucky with injuries over the season. We have. Look how few changes we've had to make to our starting 11. Arteta doesn't trust his squad. He's not flexible enough tactically, and I think long term that's going to hold us back. You're talking about long term that's going to hold us back. Who can we buy in the transfer market that's going to fit in and be able to improve the squad? Look at the players that we've bought. You know, Vieira, nowhere near good enough, right? Trossard and Jorginho, he brought them in and they stick them on the bench most of the time lately. Yes, they played the other night, but they've been on the bench a lot. So he's got the players he trusts and that's it. You know, he stuck Ben White at right back. It's worked to a certain degree, but he's too stubborn to change him and play him at centre back. He played Kirill at centre back the other night. First game he's played in the Premier League. Yeah, he did all right. But you know what I mean? I don't know. There's too many questions still for me, but we'll see. Terry says, Herman, what time would you call this? Black mark against your name. I hope you got Amar's watch. He's got Amar's watch, clearly. That's fine. You know, everyone's got Amar's watch. Lover says Arsenal's biggest mistake was second Uno. Well, I was going to say biggest mistake, but, you know, I don't believe he was given the backing of the club in the same way that Arteta's been. And had he been, he may have been more successful. We won't ever know that, will we? We are where we are now. We've had a decent season. We can't grumble too much, but I'm looking at long term. I'm not sure if Arteta is the right man to take us forward. I might be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong, and I hope he proves me wrong. But so far, I'm not convinced, and I will say that. But that's just me. Regeneron says, right on Bongo indeed. Herman says, I have no idea about a black mark. No, you haven't got a black mark, mate. You're welcome anytime. Don't listen to Terry. Just because he's always early. Regeneron says, Rich Terry, you're getting too upset. No, well, we're not getting too upset at all. Bongo says, yes, I understand that. I think injuries are a reason this and last, but I don't want to get into the Wenger in and out again. No, this season was just fun and I enjoyed it much. No, exactly. And, you know, that's what it's about, isn't it? I suppose, let's do the best that we can do. Let's win as many games as we can. We'll win the top 4. We're going to be Champions League next season. Let's see how we cope with more games. Let's see if our injuries can be as good next season as we are fortunate with the injuries next season as well. Let's see where we are. But next season's a big test for me. Newcastle are going to strengthen. They're going to be really strong. They're in the top 4. If they get top 4 this season, wow, they're going to be a threat, aren't they? Liverpool going to improve. Chelsea, you can't imagine them being as bad again. Man United are going to be better. We need to improve again next season to just challenge for the top 4, let alone for the title. So let's see. Terry says Arteta still needs to learn too much about game management to do as any good in their future. Yeah, I agree, but let's see. We have improved this season, and we may well improve again next season. We'll have to wait and see. Regina says agrees with Bongo. That's fair enough, of course. Herman says, I wear an Apple Watch, a fantastic watch, and it's a lot cheaper than a Rolex. Apple Watches are great. I mean, I've got a Samsung smartwatch thing, which is great. Lofa says the Arsenal will be relegated next season. I don't think we'll be relegated next season, no. Do you know the last time we were relegated, Lofa? Just, out of curiosity, last time we were relegated was in 1913. So what's that, 110 years ago? So I don't think we're going to get relegated next season, are we? But it's going to be tougher next season, I think. But let's see. Anyway, this is about the Arsenal women. We've just won 1-0 against Leicester. We've bounced back from the Champions League disappointment, and we got the job done. Wasn't pretty at times. Leicester were well organised. They worked hard. They were physical, but we found a way to win. Luckily, we managed to produce that brilliant goal from Frida Marnham, the quality that she's shown all through the season. And she did it again, came up trumps for us. A brilliant goal, a brilliant win for Arsenal. And we're back in contention of certainly the top 3, maybe even a title, who knows. We will have to see. Herman says there, negative comment never gets you anywhere. No, you're right. It doesn't ever get you anywhere, no, but we're allowed to say how we feel. Bongo Guna says, just hope we can compete next year. I think next season will be make or break for us. So, yeah, I agree. I 100% agree with you. Yeah, that's exactly right. I think it will be make or break. Regina says, I've got a Fitbit. I used to have a Fitbit as well, actually. I found it wasn't really, in the end, it wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. It was an older one. I got a Samsung watch a few years ago. I liked it and upgraded. I got a newer one, and I really liked it if it does what I need it to do. Probably Garmin's the only one I would take better, maybe. But Fitbits, I think they've improved. The latest ones are better. The one I had was a bit old and it wasn't really very reliable. So yeah, had a few issues with it in the end. Bongo Guna says, will Chelsea get relegated this season? No, I don't think they will. There's at least 3 teams worse than them, unfortunately. So no, they won't get relegated. But so we'll see. Herman says, a Viking moment. Indeed, it was a Viking moment. That's what we needed. Regina says, but Arsenal women are the best in the world. Of course they are. And Lofa says, should Manuel Neuer retire now? Is he still playing, is he, Manuel Neuer? I don't really know. But he's got to be getting on a bit, hasn't he? So maybe he does need to retire. Maybe you're right. Anyway, I say, if you want to have a chat about German football, come in next Friday when Andreas is here, and he will be happy to discuss Bayern Munich with you because he's a big Bayern Munich fan, so he loves the club. So he has a lot more knowledge on them than what I do. So you definitely come in next Friday and speak to Andreas because he's a good guy and he knows his stuff. Terry says, at last, Regina, we can agree on something. Arsenal women are the best. They are, exactly. Herman says, Richard, after the loss against Wolfsburg, did the ladies have any power left? Well, they didn't have much power tonight. They were on maybe half power, but they got the job done. And we've got another game Wednesday, so we're going to have to recharge and bounce back. And let's hope they can get the batteries really firing on Wednesday. But I think we're going to struggle through the games now at the end of the season. We just got to try and do what we can to try and get through and see where we are. But there you go. Lofa says, bro, pick one, Paul Scholes or Oliver Kahn. I'd pick Paul Scholes, but that's just me. But yeah, no, we haven't got a lot of power left, but we've got enough to get through the game today. And let's hope we can win our next 2 against 2 teams. We should beat Brighton and Everton before we go to that Chelsea game. And hopefully by then, we might have 1 or 2 players fitter, mightn't we? We might have Caitlin Ford back. That would be great, wouldn't it? Hopefully Steph Catley will be fit as well. And who knows, maybe we can give Chelsea a game. Lofa says, are you a teacher by profession? I'm not, no, I'm not a teacher. Do I look like I should be a teacher? I don't know. Maybe that's something I could look at doing. But I'd be on strike if I was a teacher, wouldn't I? Because in England, all the teachers are on strike at the moment. But no, I'm not a teacher. But yeah, anyway, that was Arsenal women against Leicester tonight. I was a little bit worried about the game. on the back of Monday, but we got the job done. What a goal it was as well, and what a performance from Frida Marnham again. She's certainly going to be in contention for player of the season, isn't she? Let's be honest. And why not? Because she's a great player and she's had a great season. There's a few contenders for that player of the season. We'll look at that later on, of course, once the season's over. But yeah, she helped us get the job done today, didn't she? Bongo going, so I have to say Arsenal is the best club in the world, and I mean it without my Arsenal glasses on. Just as a pure club, what we do, just look at the raising awareness for knife crime, for example. Yeah, I mean, Arsenal have always been leaders, haven't we? We've always been leaders in doing the right thing, and I agree. We are the best club in the world, 100%. We've lost a little bit of the values that we maybe had a few years ago. I think moving the stadiums changed. It's different now, but I agree. I still think we are the best club in the world, and we're great at raising, highlighting important issues, and that's what the club have always done. And you've got to take your hat off to that. Lowe says, "Are you a police officer?" No, I'm not a police officer either. No, maybe that's another job I should maybe look at. Regenda says, "Arsenal more than 100-year consistently in the top league." And indeed, yeah, we have been on the pitch. We've been fantastic. Terry says, "You can teach anything about Arsenal." Well, maybe about Arsenal. Yeah, I should maybe be an Arsenal teacher, perhaps. But Bongo again says, "Arsenal. That's it." Lowe says, "Do you play football? What position? Striker?" I play left back usually. That's my position. I've always played on the left side. I'm left-footed. I've played left back, played sort of left wing when I was a bit younger. Now I play left back. So yeah, I do still play a bit of football. Regenda says, "Bongo, you need to come on again here." No, Bongo's generally on here anyway. So yeah, it'd be good. Anyway, right. I'm quite tired actually because we travelled back today and I'm sort of jet lagged from travelling back from the Peak District today. So anyway, Arsenal won 1-0, which was good. And hopefully someday I might be at the game. Or I'll certainly be doing some vlogging, perhaps outside the ground and stuff if I can't get in. Bongo says, "We must admire the Spuds for taking care of the environment that they don't do." So, well, exactly, yeah, they don't do any silverware at all, which is a shame, isn't it? But yeah, so I will see you definitely Wednesday. We may put a show in early next week, actually, to look back at the Newcastle game. I haven't decided yet. Lowe says, "Apply for the manager's job position." Well, it's a job I'd love to do. I'm not sure they would take me. Regenda says, "I play walking football as a striker." See, walking football is something I want to do, but at the moment I can still run, and I want to still run really while I can. Herman says, "How does our Danish princess look today? There seems to be hidden talent for this player." No, I mean she did all right today. Hit and miss. She did some good things. She lacked a little bit of confidence in the final third. Decision making is not quite there, but she did okay. She's got room to work, and I'm sure she'll be a lot better. Terry says, "And not back in it." Just no, of course not. No, I'll be there. Got a game in the morning actually, playing a big game tomorrow, so looking forward to that. Hopefully we can win. We've avoided relegation, 2 promotions in 2 seasons, and this season we've stayed up, so we're doing well. Looking forward. We've got 2 games left, the next 2 Saturdays. So tomorrow we are playing. Looking forward to that. See if we can end the season with 2 wins. Would be nice, wouldn't it? Lover says Wayne Rooney as England men's team manager. Well, not yet. I'll get rid of Gareth Southgate. I'm not sure Wayne Rooney's quite ready for that role yet. Bongo Gurney says, "Good night, my friends." Indeed, yeah, good night to everybody. Thank you very much for watching. Some great comments in tonight. Great people in the chat as well. So thank you very much to everybody for joining in. I'll be back definitely on Wednesday for the Brighton game, the watch along 7:15. And I say there may be another show. I might throw one in maybe Monday night or Tuesday, looking back at the Newcastle game as well. And then, of course, next Friday, we are back the Arsenal Women's Weekly. Andreas is here, so we can have a little chat about German football if Loafer's in there as well. Terry says, "Good night all, take care, see you all soon." Indeed, we will see you all very soon. I might be at the game Sunday, so I might not be doing a watch-along, but if I'm not at a game and I don't decide to go, I will pop in here and do a watch-along as well. Terry says, "Come on, you Gooner girls," indeed. So that's it for tonight then. Thank you very much all for watching. It finished Arsenal women 1, Leicester City 0. Difficult game. Frida Marnham's brilliant goal won us it in the second half. And we're still in with a chance of finishing the top 3, certainly. We're still with a chance to win the league. We just need Man U to fall apart in the last few games, which, who knows, maybe they will. And we can jump in there and beat Chelsea, and who knows, we might be able to do it. But anyway, let's get that top 3, get back in the Champions League where we deserve to be. And we can look ahead to some more great nights and some great football next season as well, can't we? Anyway, thanks for watching tonight, everyone. It's been great. A lot of people in, Lots of comments. Thank you very much for all of that. Thanks for all your likes. And if you're new, consider subscribing. I will see you definitely Wednesday, possibly before. Look out. I'll put notifications up if we're going live. Click the notification button, actually, then you'll find out yourself. But I will put stuff out anyway. See you very soon. Arsenal got the win tonight. We did it the hard way, but we got there. We won 1-0. We do love a good 1-0 to the Arsenal, don't we? Ta-ra, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you very soon. Come on, you guys. So Arsenal now free to Marnham again inside there looking for a second goal. Oh, she's got a second goal. That seals it. Free to Marnham again.